Test one, test one, two, test one, two.
T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Welcome to the National Football Foundation Quarterback Challenge. Hi, I'm Greg Sarah from Newsday Sports, and today we have our third year of the Quarterback Challenge here at the beautiful Smithtown High School West. A gorgeous day, and we are looking forward to looking at some of the top quarterbacks, boys and girls, today in the upcoming fall season. Everybody will compete today in a different rubric. The boys will go with different events. They'll have anticipation, accuracy, touch, arm strength, mobility, release quickness, knowledge. Should be a lot of fun. Everybody brought their own favorite receivers. The girls will do the same this afternoon, and we're ready to rock and roll at Smithtown High School West. We'll be right back at Smithtown High School West, and we will introduce today's quarterbacks and their wide receivers.
As one of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
I'd say my personal goal is just to be the best player I can for my team, and then my team goal is just to win the Long Island Championship for my time.
Now, on a personal note, who's your favorite football player? Could be college, pro, and why?
For the past couple of years, I'd say Saquon Barkley's been my favorite football player.
Anything special about Saquon in his career and what he's had to overcome that stands out?
I'd just say, my dad played at Penn State, so I always watched him. That just, made me like him the most.
Gotcha. Now, I know you've had a lot of memorable moments with the career you've had, which is unprecedented last year, throwing for 3,000 yards and running for 1,000. But in your career, what would you, if you had to pick one moment, what would be your most memorable moment playing football?
There's definitely a bunch of great moments, but I'd say last year's playoff game versus Smithtown West was probably one of the most fun games I've been in. Just the highest scoring game, and it was really fun to be a part of.
Now, what games are you most looking forward to this year?
I like to take one game at a time, so West Hampton first week is the one I'm got my eyes on right now.
That's great. Now, who is the most influential person in your life and why?
I don't know if I have one influential person, but I'd probably say my parents. I look up to them a lot, and they just help guide me to be the person I am today.
Great. Now, hobbies. I know football and lacrosse take up a lot of your time, obviously. You're such a talented player, but outside of those two, what would be some of the things you like to do and enjoy?
Obviously, I like spend time with my friends, but I'm a big video game guy. We play a lot of games together, like college football is now out, so yeah, I'm big on video games.
And almost our last question, any specific pre-game rituals or things you do, how you get dressed, what you eat, anything in particular?
I feel like I'm very close with my relationship with God, so I like to pray, go to church before every game.
Great. Last one, and that is, I complimented your dad when we speak. Having a younger son who played quarterback, I really admire the fact that you were a two-way player, played defense, and I think even played on special teams. So how enjoyable is that for you, just virtually never to come off the field?
Yeah, I give my team everything I have, so whatever I have to do for the team to help us win, I'm going to do it. So I want to be on the field to give everything I got.
All right. Joseph, thank you so much. Have a great competition and a great season this year.
Thank you.
So the team goals for this upcoming season is to obviously win the LIC, the Nassau County Championship. With returning a lot of guys and being ranked preseason #1, you have pretty high expectations, and we're working to live up to them. Personal, I hope to win the Schneider Award, and I'll be the best quarterback in Nassau County.
Okay, also, are you aware that the winner of the quarterback challenge last year was Mustafa Mozawala, who ended up winning the Schneider, so hopefully good things to come for you as well.
Yes.
Who is your favorite football player and why?
My favorite football player is actually Tyrod Taylor. With all the injuries he's had and battles he's gone through, I look up to him because every time he goes out on the field, he puts on a show and always puts in his best work.
Great. Your most memorable moment playing football?
Most memorable moment was throwing that first varsity touchdown pass. I was walking out there shaking, nervous for the game. But then once I threw that ball, I was just so happy, and yeah.
What game this year are you most looking forward to and why?
Probably the Massapequa game last year. Lost to them by 1 point in overtime. And obviously they had a great season, won the LIC, and this season we're looking to get back and hopefully win.
Who is the most influential person in your life and why?
Probably my dad, I would have to say. I look up to the way he attacks each day and his outlook on life, and all the advice he gives me always helps me.
What are some of your hobbies, Dennis, outside of playing football?
Outside of football, I enjoy golfing and hanging out with my friends. I think it helps calm my mind, and with football being so high intensity, going out and golfing with my friends really relaxes me.
Last question, any specific pregame rituals that you go through?
I always meditate before my games. My quarterback coach Brady and my dad are big on meditation and transferred it to me, and I love breathing exercise and meditating. It really helps me calm my mind.
One of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are both your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
Personally, I just want to do a lot better than I did last year, and for the team goal, I just want to win a championship.
Okay. Favorite football player? Could be a college player, professional player.
My favorite player in college probably was Johnny Manziel, and in the pros, Trevor Lawrence.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of, I know you're an outstanding lacrosse and football player, but your most memorable, if you had to pick one, and I know it's difficult, but your most memorable moment playing football?
My most memorable moment playing football is probably winning the game for St. George Regional. It's just a big win for the team.
And in terms of this upcoming season, 2024, what game in particular are you looking forward to and why?
I really look forward to playing Cardinal Hayes again because we lost them in the playoffs last year and kind of want to get them back.
Gotcha. Most influential person in your life and why?
Probably has to be my dad, just because he motivates me every day to keep getting better.
Great. And now, outside of lacrosse and football, what does Gary Merrill enjoy doing for fun?
Probably just going to the beach, fishing, and having fun with my friends.
Okay. Now, I know athletes tend to have very specific pregame rituals, sometimes how they get dressed, what food they eat. Is there anything you do in particular before every game?
Usually just sitting by myself in the locker room and listening to my music and getting locked in for the game.
Gotcha. Last question. I was so impressed last year. You had a run, I think we talked earlier, against Cardinal Hayes where your helmet came off and you kept running. But just you seem to play more like a defender than you do a quarterback. So tell us a little bit about that.
I was running down the field. I got hit and my helmet came off. It's because my helmet was a little loose, but it came off and I just scored a touchdown.
All right, Gary, good luck this weekend and for the upcoming season.
Thank you.
We are back at Smithtown West High School. Orland and Cohen Sports Medicine, the proud sponsor of the Long Island Quarterback Challenge. And we are ready for the player introductions. We have 16 quarterbacks to compete in today's event, and they came with their talented receiving corps. Welcome to Smithtown West High School. We are going to have player introductions. Our 16 quarterbacks who will be in today's event and their receivers. Our first quarterback, Thomas Costarelli of East Islip. Alex Champy and Billy Bast will be the wide receivers. Nick DeVito of Smithtown West and his receivers, George Silios and Jake Rarick. Quarterback Joe Diesso of Massapequa and his receivers, Tyler Villalta and Frankie Romano. Ethan Dizon of Syosset and his receivers, Parker Schwartz and Adam Marvin. Quarterback Joseph Filardi of Half Hollow Hills West and his wide receivers, Kay Diaz and Anthony Rayo. Quarterback Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale, and his receivers Gavin Gachalian and J.J. Collins. Quarterback Shane Kiernan of Miller Place, and his receivers Dane LaGrasta and Jaden Meadows. Quarterback Daniel Akari of Kellenberg, and his wide receiver Owen Kirschenblatt. Quarterback Anthony Marone, Smithtown East High School, and his wide receivers James Huxtable and Matthew Santangelo. Quarterback Joe McHale of Lynbrook, and his wide receivers Miles Storm and Raghav Ghosh. Quarterback Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's High School, and his wide receiver Dylan Donovan. Quarterback Brady Nash of Islip High School, and his wide receiver DJ Lisbon. Quarterback Elijah Outlaw of West Babylon High School, and his wide receivers Josiah Price and Alex Allen. Quarterback Maurice Scott of Riverhead High School, and his wide receivers Kevin Moore and Finn Drake. Quarterback A.J. Virtio of Sachem East High School, and his wide receiver, Joe Christie. Good luck to everybody's competitors. We have 15 quarterbacks in all. We'll be back at Smithtown West High School after a short break.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Welcome back to Smithtown West High School, as we see all our competitors taking a team photo in the middle of the field. And joining us in the booth for the first few competitors will be East Islip head coach Sal Champy, who coaches baseball and football and has been quite successful for the past 2 decades. And, Coach, welcome to the booth.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm excited to see all the top quarterbacks before we get started this fall. Have you guys been working out in the off season, getting ready for this season?
Yeah, well, listen, we do it every year. It's kind of the standard at East Islip. The kids understand that, they're going to put a lot of time in once the spring sports are over. We had to wait a little longer because we had a bunch of lacrosse kids, finishing the lacrosse season up, and they played in the Long Island Championship game. But starting the Monday after the lacrosse team was done, we've practiced basically 4 days a week since then. So we've probably have close to 30 practices in already.
That's phenomenal. You get to see all the new guys coming up, see how they mesh with the guys that have experience on the varsity level. And when you put in that kind of time, that bodes well for success.
Yeah, well, listen, I learned that from my father a long time ago, that no matter what the talent level you have year in, year out, you can find ways through hard work and putting in time to give the kids an advantage and put them in the best position possible to have success on the field.
It's all about what you put into it, what you get out of it, Sal. And you are the Long Island champions in Class 3, but they moved you up to Class 2. How do you foresee that working out?
Yeah, to me, I really don't care where I'm playing. What I've said to people that have brought that up is we just spent 9 years in Division 3. In the 9 years we were there, we played in a county championship game 6 times. The 9 years previous to that, we were in Division 2. And I was in the county championship game 6 times. And the last year we were in that, in 2014 in Division 2, we won it. So anybody that thinks I give a rip where I play and who I play, I really don't care.
Well, there's been quite a bit of movement with teams moving up and down based on enrollment. So you bounced. You've gone up, you've gone down, now you've gone back up. So the enrollment has changed.
Yeah, well, I think that's a byproduct of, what's going on culturally a little bit. And, some districts are seeing an influx of new students. And then some districts are seeing a lot of their population leave town and move to places that are a little bit more affordable to live at. So it could go either direction. It kind of depends where you live.
Well, last year was a special year. You won the Long Island Class 3 championship. You had the Hanson Award winner in Sebastian Regis, who has moved on to Stony Brook University to play football there. And it's kind of like, all right, we move forward, but we're moving forward without the best player in Suffolk County. But we do have back our first competitor in today's event, in Thomas Costarelli, who's a scholarship baseball player,
yes,
but also a fantastic athlete and a great quarterback. Tell us a little bit about Costarelli.
Well, Thomas is a good athlete. I've known him since he was very young. Him and his father, I've been close with the entire family. His father is a godfather to my youngest. So, listen, he calls me Uncle Sal, which is difficult for him sometimes when he's getting yelled at. But he's a gifted athlete, and he had never played quarterback. And I went to him before his sophomore year, and I said, listen, we're going to make a move. We're going to put you there. I think you have the chance to be a pretty good player. And obviously, it's worked out that way.
He was elusive last year. He broke some big open field runs, and he was tough for a guy that wasn't that big. I mean, he must have weighed like 150.
Oh, yeah, last season, he's got that long, wiry body. He's got some growing still to do. He's going to be a kid you're going to see in another year or two that's going to come back and go, wow, that's that kid. He's probably going to end up being a kid that's going to be 6'2", 6'3". And obviously, once he goes to Central Florida, he's going to, they're going to do a number on him, especially the pitchers, with their legs and the stuff they're going to do in the weight room.
All right, Sal, we're going to get rolling here. You can help me break down Costarelli. They're going to get into their first event. So let's see what Tim Horan has in store.
On this QB gauntlet drill, the quarterback will start on the numbers. On his go, he will sprint to the near hash, pick the ball up immediately, and throw the ball across the field to a moving target. He'll then sprint far across the hash and throw the ball to the next moving target, then back to the target, then back to the original hash mark, and then finally to the far hash again. Each throw is thrown across the field. We are expressing the quarterbacks to be very explosive, very quick, to pick the ball up and quickly throw the football. This next video will demonstrate an example of the quarterback doing the drill the wrong way on purpose. He picks the football up here on the near hash. He actually watches the ball being thrown. You never want to watch the ball in the air. Then he'll pick up the next football, pause for a second, and throw the ball back across the field. We don't want to pause when we pick up a football, and we definitely don't want to watch it travel in the air. It's grip it, rip it, let it go, and throw it across the field.
That was John Gill, our Long Island Quarterback Challenge Director. Fantastic description of our first event. And Sal, how do you like that? Grip it and rip it.
Yeah, well, see how the kids do with the drills. I know we've been doing a lot of stuff all summer. We're not doing stuff like that, so it'll be interesting to see how Thomas does right now.
That's 1 or 2, so there's going to be extra people. So you want to work on your hands, just stay out of the middle. Then when your quarterback is up, you can just go to stations. The main receivers will stand on the hash marks. Those guys will tell you when to jog. You want to jog, you don't run, you're out of bounds. So you want to jog. Literally, the jog can be like this. They'll tell you when to jog, so you got to do nothing. Quarterbacks run, pick the ball up, throw it across the field, sprint to the far hash, pick the ball up, throw it across the field, come back to the middle, throw it across the field, come back to the starting block, throw it across the field, go to the far one, throw it across the field, and sprint off the field. Remember, we're looking for you guys to pick the ball up, as we showed in the videos, not look at the ball, grip it, rip it, and go, okay? So again, these judges were instructed, you can throw the prettiest passes in the world. Do me a favor, stop talking when I'm talking. Pick the prettiest pass in the world. If you pick the ball up, set yourself, and throw it and watch it, you're gonna get it wrong. I'm just gonna tell you, that's how they're instructed to grade it, okay? So you better run, you better do it with speed, okay? I don't know who's up first, but we're gonna be in that corner over there, so everybody stay on the sideline around the 20, 25-yard line, 30-yard line. Let's go.
Coach John Gill giving explicit instructions and also demanding the respect of paying attention. There's a lot that goes into this. He demands that people pay attention, know exactly what they're doing, and he wants them all to do well in this event. And if you're not paying attention, you may do it wrong.
Yeah, well, hopefully that wasn't one of my kids talking while he was.
We don't know who it was, but whoever it was, he straightened them out pretty quick. Like, hey, guys, you know what? This is serious stuff. I love the way he talks to the players. You know that he does have their undivided attention. That was probably someone that just wasn't sure. Wow, we just pick it up and throw it even if we don't have a good grip? But that's what he means. Grip it and rip it.
I would think Thomas is used to getting talked to like that, so I think it'll be okay.
Most of them probably do. It was probably nothing but a big deal. I got to tell you, John Gill is fantastic. He played collegiately at Akron University. He coached at LIU for, I would say, probably 9 or 10 years. And our first competitor is going to be Thomas Costarelli, number 1. He's getting ready to roll. And tell me what you're expecting here.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how much he's done any of this stuff. He really probably hasn't. So hopefully he just follows the directions and does it right.
Yep, Costarelli, a left-hander. It looks like he'll be going from his left to right, so his first throw will be throwing left-handed across the field. They set up in the end zone, get the receivers ready, and then Gill will give Costarelli the signal to move. It is not a timed event. The first event is accuracy. It's like a gauntlet-type drill. And some of the things that Coach Gill said that he does not want the quarterbacks to do is do not watch the ball in the air. Grip it, rip it, and go. And so you see how he had to turn his hips right here on this one, turn and throw. All good throws. Nice job by Costarelli, and he sprints off the field. Sets the tone for the rest of the competitors.
Well, the thing you could see there a little bit, and Thomas has huge hands, which obviously helps him as a pitcher too. But he was picking up those balls and throwing them without the laces.
That's something like a deflate gate. If you have a ball that doesn't have full air in it, like fully blown up, you can do that. You can get a grip.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
punch
listen,
your thumb through the ball. Otherwise, you ain't picking him up.
Yeah, he's done a great job, picking up the football stuff.
Nick DeVito of Smithtown West is our next quarterback, number 2. And Sally got a lot on the throw down the middle, but across the field, he's getting rid of it a little quicker than he may want to. That last throw was very good.
It's tough for the high school kids making those throws on the high school hash marks to throw it all the way back across the field to the other pylon. You got to have a little bit of arm strength to get that done.
Our next competitor here is Joe Diesso of Massapequa, and while he came on strong last year as a junior for Massapequa, had a phenomenal season, and that was after the starting quarterback Paul Delanto went down with an injury, game 1, and Joe came in and just did a fantastic job.
Listen, the Massapequa's on a great run right now, really in every sport, but the coaches are doing a great job in football with that program.
Two beautiful throws to open it up down the middle. Nice rocket. He turns his hips, throws back to the far corner. You got to be impressed with that arm strength, Sal.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well done. Following Joe Diesso will be Ethan Dizon of Syosset, and he has a lot to live up to. Mustafa Mozawala won this event last year, the Syosset quarterback, and he was a fantastic athlete. Sometimes you get those lacrosse guys that come in and they get football and they figure it out right away.
Yeah, well, Syosset obviously is a great history with the lacrosse kids. So if you can cherry pick an athlete from that program to play quarterback for you, it's a plus.
And Sal, I would say he has big hands. He was picked every ball up with one hand, like just a grip, right?
Yeah, well, when you're picking them up off the floor like that and you're trying to do it as quick as possible, you're just going to grab it and get a grip. It's not like taking a shotgun snap and you have a split second while you're lifting the ball to your ear to find the laces.
It would be really cruel if one of the guys setting up, and all the volunteers here do a fantastic job, but if they had a guy come up and they spun all the balls where the laces were on the ground, not on top. You go, I need a do-over here. I didn't get any good grips. Our 5th guy is Joe Filardi, who is going to play football and lacrosse at Syracuse, a fantastic athlete, one of the best athletes on Long Island, a finalist last year for the Hanson Award. And he has a very strong arm, Sal.
Hey,
you saw a lot of him last year.
I've coached against a lot of kids in the now 24 years I've been the head coach, and he's as good as it gets. By the time he leaves here, he's going to probably have every record on Long Island, and he's a special player. His physical ability isn't necessarily what sets him apart. What he does mentally on a field, checking in and out of plays and routes, is next level stuff.
Our 6th quarterback is Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale. He had another guy who had a fantastic year last year. Boy, I covered him in a couple big games in Nassau County, and he just makes plays.
Well, listen, nobody has a richer history than that program in Farmingdale. So if you can do those things there, you are an elite player.
We are looking forward to speaking with his head coach, Buddy Krummenacker, later in today's telecast. Our 7th quarterback is Shane Kiernan of Miller Place High School. Shane is another young quarterback with a lot of experience. Now in his senior year, he's put on some nice size. He's really good arm strength, and I expect a big year out of him, Miller Place. They're in 3 also, right? They're still down in Class 3?
No, well, they were in 4 last year. To be honest with you, Greg, I couldn't tell you if they moved up to 3 or they stayed down in 4. The second I went up to 2, I kind of forgot about everyone in 3.
You had a lot of homework to do?
Yeah, well, that's the biggest adjustment, is seeing teams on films and what you think they might do against you and what you like to do against them. It's a bigger adjustment for the coaches than it is for the kids.
So if Kiernan is in 4, they're in trouble in 4 because he looked real good in that first event.
Yeah.
Real good arm strength. And he moves well, too. Our 8th quarterback Daniel Licari of Kellenberg. Kellenberg kind of moved into the upper echelon of the Catholic League in the last 5 or 6 years. They've had some great players. They've put themselves on the same level, same echelon as Chaminade, still a step below St. Anthony's, Stepanak, and Iona, but they're right there. I mean, they're building that program.
Well, yeah, as opposed to when I started coaching, where really St. Anthony's was the only game in town. If you wanted your kid to get the Catholic education and play sports, and places like Chaminade and Kellenberg have really done a great job developing their programs in every sport.
Licari running full speed across the field. At first, football kind of took him out of his rhythm, you know. And you got to expect some of these guys to be a little nervous, maybe nervous excitement.
Well, I think when it's something you're not used to doing and you run out and you don't get the ball clean right away, you start to panic a little bit and you start rushing to try to, you try to make up for it.
Yeah, the coaches will grab him and calm him down and say, hey, this is a fun event. Don't get uptight. Just relax and show us your true colors. I could see people being nervous. So there's a lot of eyes on him, right?
There's no doubt.
Number 9, Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School. As we watch him run across the field, set his feet, make his throws. One of the better throws we've seen down the middle. A lot of guys have been firing the ball over the guy's head down the middle of the field. But his ball was right on target. Nice throw to the corner. Nice job by Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School. So our 10th quarterback is Joe McHale of Lynbrook. And this is fun for me, too, because I don't get to see all the quarterbacks when they're younger quarterbacks, juniors, sophomores. And then I get to come to this event and get to see who's out there for next year.
Yeah, well, I also think that, some of the teams, even when you go and see them, depending on what they're doing offensively, if you only see them once, it could be a game plan thing where you don't get to see them cut it loose and let it go. In a situation like this, doing stuff, you can see their basic skills.
I never asked Lenny Genova, who is the founder of this event, if they send out what they were going to do on the field so they can practice it before they come
they
in.
had some Zoom calls and things like that where the kids could see some of the drills they might do, and they talk about them a little bit.
As we see McHale of Lynbrook. Nice throw. And again, you're right. A lot of things dictate what the quarterback does in a game, especially weather.
Yeah.
Unless you're Joe Filotti or Jack Cohn, and it doesn't matter how much it's raining, they just throw.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends there are guys in the NFL that don't do well in, wind or rainy weather gripping the balls, and they'll go to maybe wearing a glove. And those guys are as good as it gets, making $50 million a year now. So I think that, depending on where you see it, what the kids' physical abilities are, that helps.
Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's, who had a phenomenal year last year. He put on some size for this year. He will not have the same receiving core as he had last year, but I have to tell you, this kid is impressive. Not just with his arm. He can run the football. He is as tough as they come. This is Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's High School.
Well, I think people don't realize. I think they do now. Even the NFL guys are allowing quarterbacks to run a little bit more, especially since they're protected. But if you have a quarterback that can run, it adds an element to your offense. You make a decision.
No doubt.
You're going to cover the 4 wide receivers, or you're going to keep an extra guy in the box, and I'll run the quarterback because I'm +1 in the run game.
Last year, at the end of the year, this kid, Brady Nash of Islip, had some of the biggest games of the season. He can throw it, and they like using him in all different capacities, run, throw, but I expect him to have a big year.
Yeah, he is. I mean, obviously, we have a relationship with people from Islip and East Islip are right there. And Brady was, as a young kid, had been at St. Anthony's and left and came back to Islip the last 2 years. And he's very, very talented, and I would expect him to have a great senior year.
Another two-sport athlete approaching the footballs, number 13, Elijah Outlaw of West Babylon. And this kid is an outstanding baseball player as well as a great quarterback. I expect West Babylon to do damage this year with this kid at quarterback. And there's a guy you talked about, multi-talented. He can run it and throw it.
Yeah, well, I've coached against him in baseball, and this year I'll get a chance to coach against him in football. And he's an elite athlete. Whatever he decides to do in college, he will do a good job at it. He'll make some coach very happy.
Yeah, this is one of Long Island's top athletes heading into his senior year, and he just had a fantastic first event. Nice job by Elijah Outlaw. Number 14 will be Maurice Scott of Riverhead. He will get to the football now. Riverhead's had some lean years, Sal, right, in the last decade, but it looks like they did a little bit better last year.
Yeah, well, I think the last year I was in Division II in 2014, we had played Riverhead, and we had a good rivalry with them. And I was talking to the coaches, and they got the sense that they were taking a little bit of a downturn, talent-wise. And they had a struggle for a couple of years, but it's a great historic program. And if they can get it going back in the other direction, there's no doubt that they'll start having some success again.
Coach Gill giving Maurice Scott some instruction during the drill as he finishes up. Another good-looking athlete, big boy. Let me tell you something. You see some big guys out here, right?
Yeah.
Physical bodies, guys that have been in the gym, doing their running, doing their training.
Yeah, well,
It's
listen,
different. Right?
Yeah, the amount of stuff kids do in the off season now. Now, listen, you have a lot of coaches that force them to do it, and that's one way. But a lot of kids do a lot of stuff on their own, private quarterback lessons, receivers, and so on.
Our last quarterback in the event is A.J. Virtio of Sachem East. As Virtio cleans it up on the last throw. Nice work. And that'll do it for the first event here at the Long Island Quarterback Challenge at Smithtown West High School. And we'll be right back.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Len Genova, and I'm the president of the Suffolk County chapter, the James C. Metzger Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. Super excited about our third annual Boys Quarterback Challenge, and we're very fortunate this morning to have Dr. James Pacey from Orland & Cohen. And first, Doc, before we ask you a few questions, I just want to give our sincere thanks from everyone at the National Football Foundation to Orland & Cohen. They are our main presenting sponsor, and without their generosity and support, this terrific event for all these excellent and outstanding young athletes wouldn't be possible. So first and foremost, thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
First question, Doc. I know you have a special relationship with the National Football Foundation. We've talked about this. That goes back quite a bit. So tell the audience about that and what is so special about the National Football Foundation.
You know, what the National Football Foundation has done for Long Island's student athletes is just tremendous. The support that they give the football community and our kids here on Long Island is just at a special, spectacular level. And really, we couldn't do the things that we do for these athletes without the National Football Foundation.
And Doc, your affiliation, I know you were recognized as a high school athlete yourself and then continued your collegiate career at Yale. So just talk a little bit about that experience and what it meant to be a National Football Foundation scholar athlete.
You know, really it points out the importance of academics, and often on Long Island the athletics part gets overemphasized, and really, you know, these are student athletes and they're students first. The importance of football and the importance of sport, it cannot be de-emphasized, but you know, really it's about getting a better education and helping lift these kids to a higher level. And listen, I'm an example of that. I don't get to Yale without playing football, but I had to do it in the classroom as well, and the National Football Foundation really puts a highlight on that.
Doc, finally, just, I know we've talked about this privately, but just your athletic career, your dad was a legendary high school coach here on Long Island. You had a chance to play for him. But the lessons that football taught you on the athletic field, how did that help you both in your personal and professional development?
You know, in terms of team is everything, especially in what I do. I can't do my job by myself. We have a huge team around us. I have 2 physician assistants. I have athletic trainers that work with us, and many of them are here today helping out. Guys like Ray Nelson, who are huge and instrumental in our ability to take care of these athletes and do our jobs. So really the team emphasis and learning to work hard and to push through adversity. You learn all of those things in the great game of football, and really helps you in your career and throughout life.
Well, Doc, I can't thank Orland and Cohen enough for their generosity and support. Again, without that, ladies and gentlemen, this event doesn't come off. But also thank you for being here this morning. I know you were coming from a vacation trip. Maybe your wife wasn't too happy, but that's your commitment to football. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thanks a lot. What a great day for these kids.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll bring it back upstairs to Greg Sarah.
Thanks, Len, and thanks, Dr. Pacey. Fantastic job. I can't say that he has never worked on me because I'm the amazing 63-year-old athlete because of guys like Dr. Pacey. Sal, you like that? I've had more surgeries than like all those guys put together.
Yeah, well, you know, Pacey, I played.
On this drill, the quarterback will first throw a 10-yard out. He'll take 3-step drop and hitch and throw the ball immediately upon the hitch. We want to throw the football as the receiver is still running his vertical stem. That was 10 yards out route to the left. This is 10-yard out route to the right. You notice that the quarterback is releasing the football just as the receiver's back is to him. The next 2 routes are, well, really 1 route, but it'll be both reps from each side. Will be a corner route. Again, the quarterback will take a 3-step drop and a hitch and immediately throw the ball while the receiver's back is to him. The next rep is done incorrectly on purpose. On this rep, the quarterback does not hitch. It's just a plant, and that will not get you the full amount of points on the rubric.
Sal, this is about anticipation, timing, and I believe this is a lot about trust. You have to trust your receivers when you throw to a spot and they have their back turned to you. You're not making eye contact, but you're throwing the ball to an area. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. And that's the one thing that's been an added element to the high school football game over the last probably 6 or 7 years. You know, a lot of the pass game historically was gimmicked up. You know, you ran stuff against a certain zone and guys would be wide open and you could wait for them to be open. It's not like that now. You've got to be able to get the ball out in the spread offenses on time.
Throwing on the cut is something that I think quarterbacks have gotten much better at in the last 10, 20 years. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, with the amount of stuff you're doing in the pass game, people are working on it all year.
Costarelli will be our first competitor. That's your guy. How does he do in anticipation in this drill?
Very good. Very good. And he's working with a lot of new receivers. And, you know, we have a couple of kids coming back, but we were very deep at receiver. You know, we had kids, like the 2 kids here with Thomas today, that were good enough to play last year, but our receivers were so good.
So they got to be excited because they're taking over for guys like Timmy McEntee, right? Matt McEntee. Right? He was a great athlete, lacrosse and football.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, and he'll get more comfortable with these guys. He got to the point at the end of the year where he knew he could just throw it up to Matt, and Matt would go and get it.
He just has such a naturally gifted arm. He just has such arm strength.
It's just sometimes as a coach, you know, people think that you coach everything. And sometimes, like the play we scored the touchdown on to win the Long Island Championship game, it was a matter of, hey, Thomas, Matt, this is what we're doing. Go get it and make a play. And you just let your kids go and do it. And people think that's coaching, but it's not.
I mean, those are beautiful throws. At 35 yards in the air, not a lot of kids can do that. Put it right on the money at 35 yards.
There's a reason he's one of the top handful of pitching recruits in the country, and he has, people fawning all over him on the mound. He was up to 90 miles an hour this summer, and, that's a God's gift.
Nick DeVito is now up from Smithtown West. Big right-handed quarterback. A little stumble by the wideout. Again, the ball's in the air, so if someone slips, falls down, sometimes
there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do about that.
It's bad luck.
Oh, we slipped again on the other side. We're going to have to talk to Smithtown West about the right footwear. Come on, guys, this is your home field. They're getting out the kinks right now, right, Coach?
Yeah, and like I said, for the receivers, they want to make sure that they don't screw something up for the quarterback. So there's a lot of pressure on them. It's like in a baseball game when a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter. The ball gets hit to you, you're nervous. You don't want to ruin it for the pitcher.
So true. Like the line drive that was hit in the Padres game, and Dylan Cease threw the no-hitter the other night. It was a good line drive to right field. Fella came in right field, made the catch, but he was thinking the whole time he was coming in, I better get to this.
It's the one time those fielders who are, as good as it gets as professionals are saying, please don't hit the ball to me.
DeVito finished up strong in that event. His deeper throws were much better than the shorter throws where people were slipping all over the place. That, like you said, that's not necessarily the quarterback's fault. Ball's in the air.
Right.
Worst feeling for a quarterback when you release the ball, your guy falls down, and there's a D-back standing there.
Right there. Yep. And that's, you see that a lot in the NFL when you're watching the games. People scream and yell at the quarterback, and then you watch the replay, and you see something like that happened.
Joe D'Esso letting it rip. He made some big throws last year for Massapequa in games that I was at, Oceanside and Farmingdale, and he really came up big. And they were a big running team with Tyler Villalta and a great running back set with great line. But when he came into quarterback, they didn't know what to expect because they had lost Delanto, who is a scholarship baseball player at Stony Brook University. And they bring this guy in, and they're like, okay, let's just manage the game. And then they realized, wow, Shippo said we don't have to just manage the game. We could win the game with this guy. He's really good.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing in high school. Sometimes when you got to go to a backup like that, unless you have a kid that's been with you for a number of years, there's an adjustment period. You're not sure. You're gearing the offense towards one kid. You can't have two different systems. You don't have the time to put that in. So when you have a kid that step in, there's a little bit of an adjustment period, which probably allowed them to do a little bit more offensively and probably helped them when competing against the other teams.
And that'll be a great matchup in Nassau Conference 1 when Massapequa plays Farmingdale. You'll have Joey D'Esso and Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale, two guys that emerged last year as two of Long Island's best quarterbacks.
Well, like I said, Massapequa over the last handful of years in football has really taken a step up and become one of the elite programs. And Farmingdale with Coach Krummenacher has always been there. So that's going to be a pretty interesting matchup.
And Ethan Dizon of Syosset, who's up now, he's going to want to have something to say about that. But he's stepping into a situation where the quarterback before him was fantastic. And that's something that, you want to live up to that.
Syosset's been like a sneaky program when it comes to football. Every couple of years, they put together a team and have a group of kids that really does a nice job competing.
Yeah, it seems like you're right. When Syosset won the Long Island title years ago, they beat up, was it Lindenhurst in the finals, right? Mm-hmm. And then you look at their conference, it's always how do you get past Farmingdale, Massapequa, Oceanside. And in given years, Baldwin has been really good. They're always
Baldwin, and historically, up until you had all the nonsense with the COVID, Freeport. So think about that division.
Right.
Just maybe win one or make it once or twice to get to Hofstra and win a game like that, you're an elite program.
Well, it's funny you say that about Freeport. If they may be the winningest program in Division I, Class 1 on Long Island, as far as how many titles they've won. I mean, I know Floyd never wants to see Freeport in the Long Island Championship. It just seems in the given years, Paul Longo's team is a little down. Russ Allen's team is way, way up. And that's tough on the matchup. Now we get Joe Filardi of Half Hollow Hills West. And look, he broke every record last year you could possibly imagine. How could he possibly surpass those numbers this year? But I guarantee you he tries.
I think that where Division III is with some of the people and the teams that have, what they have returning, he's going to have trouble duplicating those numbers because I think that they're not going to be in as many competitive games. So I can't imagine him throwing into the fourth quarter in a lot of games. So his stats might not be what they were this year, but I would expect their team as a team to have a lot more success.
I mean, you're looking at a fantastic athlete in every regard. Most impressive about him last year was his open field moves when he was running downfield, big touchdown runs. It wasn't just being able to throw the football. He was as much or more of a threat as a runner.
Yeah, well, he's a great all-around athlete. Listen, he's going to go to Syracuse with an opportunity to play lacrosse, and they're going to allow him to pursue the football as well. I have a feeling, as good as he is as a quarterback, once the football guys get their hands on him, they're going to tell him, no more lacrosse. We want you at spring practice.
Because he's that good. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to call you out here. After they beat you last year in the regular season, you didn't talk to me at the end of the game. You gave me a wave off.
No, well, Greg, anybody that knows me, my mouth can get me in trouble sometimes. So speaking to the guy from Newsday after that game probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. I was okay with it. I wasn't sensitive to it. I know how you are. Yeah. I know you were not happy when you were walking off. It was one of those days where you say, you know what, maybe it's better to talk to Sal on Wednesday.
Oh, and it wasn't as much what he did to us. But I'll tell you what. It was our 4 turnovers on offense that was driving me crazy.
And turnovers will drive a coach crazy. And one thing I can tell you about Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale, who's up now, is he's not about turnovers. He had such a great year last year. He threw for 21 touchdowns, over 1,300 yards. And he was outstanding in every regard managing that Dellers offense. I know Buddy Kromenak is excited to bring him back.
Well, listen, Buddy has done a great job for so long, starting at Hempstead and then obviously moving over to Farmingdale, that, I give him a lot of credit because I've been doing this my entire life with my father first and now 24 years as a head coach. And I'm coming up on the end of it quick and I'm burnt out. The idea that he's still doing it as long as he did and having the success he has, I give him a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah. He loves it. Shane Kiernan of Miller Place steps in, number 7. Yeah, it's tough for me right now because as I get older and you guys keep switching divisions and conferences, it's hard to keep track. And you kind of like the different rivalries that have developed over the years, and now you don't have them again.
Some of our kids were a little disappointed. We're not going to play Sayville this year. They've grown up understanding that rivalry. But our first game back in Division II this year is West Islip, which is the ultimate in terms of rivalries. So some of the alumni were very happy when they saw that.
That's unique scheduling.
Yeah.
Having you guys play each other in week 1, because by all odds, you're going to see each other again in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would expect that if things go to according to plan.
This is one of the guys that I think will be a quarterback to watch this year, a gridiron great, Shane Kiernan. He really throws a nice ball, and I think this is going to be his year. And Miller Place is another program that you always see is right on the cusp. They're right there, and can they break through?
Well, when you're trying to build a program, for the long term, you got to get that one group of kids that can have a extended amount of success over 3, 4, 5 years, and you can continue to build off of it, so you're not rebuilding every couple of years.
All right, Daniel Akari of Kellenberg is up now. Nice catch, nice recovery by his wide receiver, who had gone down on the cut and got up and recovered in time to make the catch. Everybody here at Smithtown West enjoying the beautiful weather. Very little wind. Quarterbacks love that. I mean, first thing I used to do, wake up in the morning, was it windy? You know.
Yeah, well, that's the number one thing. You know, people think it's rain. It's not. If you can switch the balls in and out, it is the wind.
You could see the angst on the receivers' faces when they don't make the catch or when they slip. You can see how hard these guys are working for their quarterbacks. And this is a memory too, right, Sal? This is something they'll be able to talk about 10, 20 years from now. Hey, remember when we did that quarterback challenge?
Well, you get out there and you compete and you see some of the other kids. And you know, nowadays too, you have all these kids know each other a little bit.
From social
Whether
media.
it's AAU basketball or travel
Right.
lacrosse or travel baseball. It's not like it was 10 or 20 years ago and nobody knew anyone from the other schools. They
Right.
all know each other. Even in football, the private lessons, quarterbacks, receivers, the kids are together and mixing all the time.
Yeah, you see that camaraderie through the camps, through showcases, through personal trainers. You're right. I think it's great that they do that. Antonio Marone got an opportunity last year to throw a little bit. Threw 5 touchdown passes, Smithtown East. But they had rotated quarterbacks. He was like the young guy coming up through the system.
That's a good throw right there. That's a
Yeah.
tough throw, the 10-yard out to the sideline from the middle of the field.
This is the anticipation event where Coach Gill and the coaches are looking for guys to throw with precision, have the proper footwork, accuracy, and they want them throwing the football while the wide receiver's back is turned. And then they adjust and make the catch. And that's really how timing is everything, right, Sal?
Yeah, well, in every sport, but especially, like I said, nowadays with the quarterbacks and how much you're throwing and what you're doing. And, you know, you can find kids in a defensive backfield that'll make a mistake. You want to get it out on time before they can recover.
Nice job by Marone. Now Joe McHale of Lynbrook steps in. He got an opportunity at the end of last year to get a little taste of varsity quarterback, and I know Lynbrook is looking for him to have a big season. It's tough on receivers, too. If you stumble with a guy with a cannon, you're not catching the pass because it's going off your hands or over your head.
Well, especially in a timing situation. I mean, if it's a deep ball, you might have a chance to recover. But when the ball's out this quick, it's pretty hard to recover.
Is it easier to cut on turf or grass?
If you have the right footwear, it's easier on the turf, especially on a high school field. A lot of the grass fields that are still around aren't in great shape, you know, and that's a great catch.
Wow.
You know, when we were putting in all the turf at East Islip, people asked me, we'll put in a nice grass field for you. I said, well, if you guys can maintain it like they do a golf course, I would want the grass. But you're not going to be able to do that on a high school field. You're not going to be able to pay that kind of money, so let's just get the turf.
When you look at your schedule, do you look at turf as opposed to grass?
Early in the year, it's not as big of a deal. You get to the second half of the year, and you're playing on grass fields that have been chewed up a little bit. Depending on the weather, it can impact the game.
Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's, he had a monster season last year. As much damage running the ball as passing the ball. but he accounted for over 2,500 yards on offense last year. He threw for 31 touchdowns, or he totaled 31 touchdowns. I think he totaled 31 touchdowns, but he was a monster. I was like, who is this kid, Gary Merrill?
Well, listen, St. Anthony still has the ability to surround the quarterback with great talent. And if you have a kid that's as good of an athlete as him, he's going to be able to take advantage of a defense.
Yeah, they play a really difficult schedule. If you don't have that kind of a line, you're not probably surviving to the end of the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You see that with the two New York teams in football. You don't have the kids up front, you're in trouble.
I like how John Gill, our challenge director, is working with the quarterbacks and talking to them as they're throwing in all the drills. He's constantly telling them what they're doing right or wrong, and that feedback is so critical for them getting better.
Well, listen, that's what something like this should be about. And if the kids aren't taking any of that information and bringing it home with them, they're silly. Anytime you get to work with someone that can make you a better player, you want to get every little bit of knowledge out of that experience.
Well, I've noticed a lot of these guys do throw the ball on time. I haven't really seen anybody that's not throwing it on the cut right before the cut. I do see great accuracy, and arm strength has been pretty good so far. Brady Nash steps in from Islip. Yeah, completion percentage last year of 71%.
Yeah, well, listen, he's a very, very talented kid. If they can, at Islip, surround him with some kids in the pass game, I would expect him to have a huge year.
Every year, Islip, in the last 10 years, if they started off slow, they finish strong. I've noticed that all the time, that they're in games at the end of the year, and they play some battles.
Well, kids, like, we've played them a lot being in Division III over the last 9 years. We didn't play them this past year because they were in 4, believe it or not. But, obviously it's that East Islip dynamic, but the kids always played us tough.
Nice catch. And it's an opportunity for these wide receivers to shine, too.
No doubt.
People ask, how is this quarterback going to be great if he doesn't have a guy like Matt McEntee or a guy like Corey Duff at St. Anthony's? I mean, those guys are easy to throw to. But didn't you have another receiver that was outstanding last year outside of McEntee? You had 2 of them.
We had a whole stable. We really had 6 kids last year that we were very comfortable with as receivers. Obviously, Matt McEntee and then Matt Ferrara were the 2 kids that stood out. But, yeah, listen, Matt was a great kid, a great player. And just because you don't have him anymore doesn't mean the next kid stepping in doesn't have value. He does. He's just different. And you got to find what he does well and incorporate that into the offense.
Elijah Outlaw, very fiery on the football field. He's the team leader for the Eagles. He's the guy that's going to make them go or not. Look at that throw. And his receiver just glided underneath that pass. Again, he's a guy who totaled 32 touchdowns last year. He threw for over 1,400 yards. Another guy who can take the Eagles as far as his talent can take them. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, no, listen, he's not a kid I'm looking forward to playing against this year. Obviously, you get somebody like him. He's dangerous because you can do everything right on a play, cover everyone, everything breaks down, and if he takes off in space, he's going to cause problems.
Yeah, he was a great runner in the open field, threw the ball really well. Another guy, you're right, that you have to be concerned about. Maurice Scott of Riverhead steps in.
Yeah, let's go right into it, and then we'll break after it. But I have to run the
strong arm.
right after this, so we're on time with that. So in other words, there's that little short video. So while he's lining them up, I'm going to go right into the next drill, the video.
How are your numbers this year at East Islip as far as
I
registration?
think we'll probably carry about 45 kids on the varsity. And right now, we're at like 55 on the JV. That'll whittle its way down a little bit probably, especially once you start hitting. But yeah, we're happy with where our numbers are.
I wonder where numbers are across Long Island, because football had lost numbers for a while. But I thought it made a comeback the last 2 years after we got away from the pandemic.
Yeah, I think the pandemic threw a lot of things up in the air, whether it was what was going on a football field or in a classroom. I think we're paying the price for that now. It's a little bit easier to pull yourself out of it if you have a successful program. But in terms of what's going to go on in the classroom and in the schools, it's a generational thing. The schools and the education and the quality of it will not get back to what it was. You're talking about for a generation. It was really a setback, and a disservice was done to the kids, not just athletically, even more academically.
Our last quarterback will be A.J. Virtio of Sachem East here in the anticipation event, where precision, footwork, and accuracy of throwing the football is most important for scoring. So through 2 events, do you have any idea who's in the lead? No.
No, I have no idea.
It's funny.
I wouldn't even try to figure it out.
The pressure is on our judges for the boys' event. There would be Rob Blount, the Oceanside head coach, Rob Haas, who was the longtime Sayville head coach and is now an assistant at the school, and Matt Smith, who was formerly at Nassau Community College and Lebanon Valley. He was a quarterback for both schools. So they'll be our guys judging the event with, of course, a lot of input from John Gill.
Yeah, well, listen, anything like this is a little subjective.
So we're done with this event, Coach. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, Lenny Genova will stand in with our Dr. Alex Rothfeld.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Good morning again, everyone. I'm Len Genova, again, the president of the James C. Metzger Suffolk chapter of the National Football Foundation. Again, we are very blessed to have another guest with us, Dr. Alex Rothfeld from Orland & Cohen, and a very special guest, Noah Rothfeld. Noah, how are you today? Oh, he's doing really well, he said. Doc, just real quick, I know you had quite a background in terms of your athletic career playing and also having the opportunity to work with not one but multiple professional teams. So what do you see as the value in terms of the experience of participating in athletics from a high school player right on through the NFL and the NBA and the Major League Baseball players that you've worked with?
Yes, so, I'm from the Midwest, a longtime wrestler, trained in Florida with a few of the pro teams. And, athletics is the best. It teaches you discipline, work ethic, how to work with others. And so many of those skills just translate throughout the rest of your life, whether it's work, family, you can't beat it. So it's great to be out here supporting the kids, and this is what it's all about.
And I know, we talked a little bit off camera just about what athletics meant in terms of your professional development. So if there was one life lesson that you would want to impart to our audience that you gathered from your athletic career, what would that be?
Yeah, so specifically, at least to the sport of wrestling, what you get out of it is, the amount of effort, time, and work you put in, you see the direct results of it, again, which translates to everything. So that's my biggest takeaway from sports is, you really can accomplish whatever you want. It's just how much are you willing to work for it.
Doctor, thank you so much. Noah, thank you so much. Have a great day. Again, thank you to our partner, Orland & Cohen. Back up to you, Greg.
All right, the toes of the quarterback start right on the goal line. You take a 3-step drop and a hitch. And again, the most important thing is the ball goes as close to the crossbar as possible, keeping a very, very low trajectory. Obviously, it cannot be a complete, but you want it barely over the crossbar. Then the next component will be receivers on the move. So the receiver will start, again, 5 yards behind the goal post. The quarterback will take the same footwork, 3-step drop and a hitch. And again, we're looking for the ball to be right over the crossbar, as low trajectory as possible, where it cannot be a complete line drive. And lastly, we'll see the receiver from the other direction. All right, 3-step drop by the quarterback and hitch, and the ball goes right over the crossbar.
All right, guys, now we're doing the touch drill. 3 throws. Make sure, don't stand right in the middle, so if the ball drops, it hits the pole from the ground. Stand off to the side. We got 3 throws. Get these guys out, and then we're gonna get 3 throws on a crossing route. All right, so 3 stationary, 3 crossing route, okay? So we'd like, 2 footballs should be enough, okay? 2 footballs should be enough. All right, so let's get out there. First group up, first guys up. Let's go.
So we go to the touch drill, which is a goalpost drill, and Coach Gill has them throwing footballs just over the crossbar and into the receiver's hands. This is a fun drill. A lot of guys drill that crossbar. And joining us now will be legendary football coach from Farmingdale High School, Buddy Kromenecker. Hello, Buddy. How are you?
Good, thank you. Great morning here for these kids.
Yeah, it's beautiful out.
Yeah.
How's your summer been?
So far, so
Are you
good.
getting out golfing?
What's that?
Are you golfing?
A little bit. Got a little of that going on.
So through the first 2 events, you're sitting out there, you're watching, like you said, on a gorgeous day here in Smithtown, you're watching these 15 quarterbacks perform in all these drills. You see your guy out there. Do you swell with pride seeing Dennis Finkel as part of this group?
Well, I think that, when you look at this, they can all throw it around. And the people they brought can catch the football. So it's a nice-looking group of people, good-looking athletes.
Oh, yes. Thomas Costarelli starts the first touch drill where he throws the ball just over the top of the crossbar and into the receiver's hands. I think Gill wanted him to throw with a little bit more velocity instead of lobbing it like a fade into the back of the end zone. And he just said to him, he said, look, give me a little more zip. But I don't know that Costarelli wants to throw too much zip. He's a pitcher. He'll probably hit the crossbar because that's like hitting the catcher's glove.
There you go. Let's see what he's got.
There you go.
Hit the post.
You got the upright.
All right.
If you tell him to hit the uprights and the crossbar, he'll probably do that every
Ask him
throw.
to hit the post again.
So, Coach, we had Sal Champion earlier, and we talked about what's changed in the quarterback position for you. You've been doing this for parts of 5 decades, and what's changed for you as the quarterback position?
Well, I think the thing that is very obvious, I mean, I go certainly many, many years back, but at one point the quarterback was sort of 1/11th of the offense. And he is no longer remotely close to being 1/11th of the offense.
So he was the game manager when he was 1/11th.
He was a game manager, and if you were somebody who maybe liked to throw it, then maybe you had that guy, and he threw it 10 or 12 times or something. But that's the piece that's changed drastically. All the reads and people wanting to put the ball in the air more.
Nick DeVito with some zip on the football over the crossbar. I like those throws from Smithtown West. Nice throws. Back in the day, and this will show my age, the goalposts used to be in the front of the end zone, which was always in the way. You could use that for a pick for quarterbacks, for receivers to run by, right?
Yeah, but I think his end-to-end management of the game is going to make somebody a champion. Because if you can't do that, I don't think you can take the football and just shove it down somebody's throat anymore. If you can, then you got the guys and nobody else has anybody.
But you've had a lot of teams that you were able to play ball control and methodically drive the field, control the clock, and manage the game by the coaches and by the guys up front, and a good running game.
Right.
Good play calling. Now you can have all that. You can have an 8 to 10 minute drive, and if the other guy runs a spread and they beat one guy, you got to do what you just did in 10 minutes that they did in 40 seconds. That's got to be a little frustrating.
Right. I mean, I think that I think you still need a running game. I think that as the season goes on and the weather changes, if you're a heavy throw guy, you could have a bad afternoon. And the game's going to be played because all these fields look like this. So nobody's calling it because we don't want to chew up the turf.
Weather.
Those days are over. Yeah. You need lightning.
Your regular season game last year against Massapequa at home was an epic game because the run game was just as important. And here we have Joe Diesso of Massapequa, so you know a lot about him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he emerged as a good quarterback last year
Yeah.
against you guys.
Absolutely.
But when you look back at your game, Coach, that was a lot. You had to run the ball in that football game to win that game, both teams.
Yeah. That's why it was 7-7 when it ended.
Yeah, it was overtime. It was crazy. The atmosphere was amazing. You got to love those games.
No, it was tremendous. It's a Farmingdale Massapequa game.
Yep. And this year, East Islip moves up into Division II in Suffolk, and they go back to their roots, and they play West Islip in the opening game of the season.
Oh, there you go. That's great.
If you want to talk about the greatest rivalries,
old time rivalry, yeah.
Yep, you have Massapequa, Farmingdale, and East Islip, West Islip. You'll get to see a lot of this guy this year, Ethan Dizon of Syosset. He's their new quarterback.
This is the Syosset quarterback?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You taking notes, right?
You what?
You taking notes?
Yeah. It's all a little different in T-shirts and shorts. Sport changes drastically.
Funny thing, someone asked me about what quarterbacking. Is it harder to throw with shoulder pads on? I'm like, a little bit. It's a lot different.
I don't think too different anymore because of what shoulder pads are today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say absolutely 20 years ago when the pads were certainly a little bigger and a little bulkier, but not what these guys are wearing today. You don't use your shoulders for anything today.
Right.
Got your hands on people when you're blocking them. Got your hands on people trying to get off them. And with the ball in space a lot, tackling is get them on the ground, not necessarily form them up and all those things that we used to do.
It's not as physical a game as it was years ago.
No, it's not.
It's more finesse.
Yeah.
Wide open.
I mean, when we were, I don't know how long ago, maybe 20 years ago, we were in a Power I, and we were big, and we were slamming the ball. The running back was responsible for the last guy standing. Run over him. Or yak him. and turn 3 into 6. And there you go. That's a good play.
That was the yards after contact.
Yards after contact.
It became a statistic.
Kevin Marner.
How about this guy, Joe Filotti? Total 57 touchdowns. You never heard of that back in the day. 57 touchdowns.
No, absolutely not. But did you win a championship?
Well, there you go. He accounted, and this is crazy, for over 4,400 all-purpose yards. And he just didn't have the guys up front.
Right.
They would try to outscore everybody.
Yep. You got to stop people,
I'll tell you what. He led the team in tackles also. That's how good he was. He was all over the field.
Yeah, great player.
Young quarterback Shane Kiernan is up next. He's on deck right now. Is your guy?
Yeah.
Dennis Finkel?
Yeah.
Tell me about Dennis. Tell me how he emerged as your starting quarterback last year.
Well, he measures up to what Anthony Leachy did with the championship team. I mean, he's the same kind of guy. Smart kid, knows what we're trying to accomplish. Steady when things get crazy, and he's all of that. He's a quarterback. There are guys that are quarterbacks, and there are guys that are athletes that play quarterback. And he's a very good athlete, but he's a quarterback.
He's one of those guys that when we were walking down on the field and in the warm-ups, that emerged as one of the guys that I thought put on some size. He got bigger.
Got a lot bigger. Well, kids change. I mean, that junior to senior year is a big year in terms of growth for a lot of kids.
'Cause I thought he was small last year at quarterback.
He was skinny.
He's a thin guy.
He was maybe 5'11", but he was skinny. And I don't know, maybe he's 6'1" now, and he's not skinny anymore when you get near him. No, he's done a great job building his body.
Number 7, Shane Kiernan now comes out on the field. Another guy, buddy. He's a guy out in Division 4 in Suffolk who's going to do damage. He's a kid that can take a game over.
Where is he?
He's at Miller Place.
Miller Place?
You know, and you think if they had a running back complement to his passing game and some guys up front, they could be a champion.
Yeah.
Again, everything changed because teams moved up and down. So the landscape is very different in high school football this year.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of movement in Nassau?
Well, Baldwin went to Conference 2, which is history-making because they were in 1 forever.
Yep.
And there was some movement. I think Wantaw and Plain Edge went to 4.
And Garden City went to 3.
Garden City went to 3. Somebody else obviously moved to 2, but I'm not sure how. I don't think it was a tremendous amount of switch, but some key switches.
Yeah.
Because those small schools in Nassau, they're really, some of them are really small schools. Graduate 90, graduate 85. You know, that's a small place.
Well, what a lot of people don't know on Long Island, we've never really written about it in Newsday, is it's an unfair advantage, Suffolk to Nassau, in the conferences, in the classes. Like their classification 1 is much bigger than Nassau's classification 1 as far as school enrollment.
Yeah, Suffolk's
Same
enrollment.
thing in 2. Suffolk's got huge schools.
We'd be close to Conference 2 if we were in Suffolk.
Yeah.
Because I think we're about, I don't know, maybe we're about 9 or 10 in Conference 1.
Well, that would be historic if you moved down to 2.
There you go.
New opponents, lot more work, right? You'd have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you know what week you play Massapequa?
Week 3, I believe.
Yeah, that's when we circle on our calendar.
That'll be at their
year.
place.
Yeah, every year as the season schedule comes out, I sit there with Andy Slauson, and we look at week by week for the first 4 weeks, because teams change.
Yeah.
And we say, all right, here's where we're going to go the first 4 weeks. And I like rivalry games to be a little bit to the middle or to the back end of the season.
Yeah, not too early.
So get your feet underneath you.
Yeah.
Now we have our
Yeah, I mean,
ninth
we think
competitor,
that,
Antonio Marone.
We think we're going to be good up front, so we're going to be able to run the football. I mean, this is all a bonus with this guy in terms of throwing the football around, which we're going to do. But we get that bad day, we'll be able to run it. You know, I think we'll be able to handle people up front.
Coach Champy said that the toughest days are the windy days more than the wet days.
And those days too, yeah. Never mind the rain and all that. But you get the it's the old story. Oh, it's good we got the wind. Yeah, well, maybe it's not good you got the wind. Good for the punter.
Yeah, the punter loves that.
He likes the wind.
The punter's not a fan when you punt, and you're going to punt with the wind, and the quarter runs out.
Yeah, right.
And the other coach called timeout to make that happen.
Burn your timeouts and make sure he kicks that thing into the wind.
I've seen some punts go negative yardage. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Number 10, Joe McHale of Lynbrook. This event is also good for for me, for work, because I don't see some of these guys, and an opportunity to see people early. So we say, hey, I want to go out and check that kid out.
See what
they
look like.
Yeah, who we saw here last year was Mustafa Mozawala. He won the event.
Right, he won the event.
So that was like, Syosic's
he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great athlete, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they could have got a better day. This event would be wild if we had heavy crosswinds.
Yeah, it'd be a little tough to. Nothing's moving.
No.
No, it's still.
And
good day to evaluate these guys.
Yep. And as I always look on the tree line, I look at the top. What does the wind look like up there?
What is what?
What does the wind look like at the top of the tree line? There's zero breeze out there.
Yeah, no, nothing out there.
Mikkel finishes up, and now Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's. Do you scrimmage them at all anymore?
St. Anthony's?
Yeah.
No, we never scrimmaged.
You never
them.
did, right?
No.
That was just Massapequa and Floyd.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, did they?
Well, they only have 90 guys on the varsity. Talk about managing a team, right?
Yeah. A lot of unhappy children.
Yeah, that's why you see people transfer back. Brady Nash in this event today was at St. Anthony's.
Yeah.
Didn't get the starting quarterback job. Gary Merrill is the starting quarterback. He transferred back to Islip, which makes Islip viable now.
Yeah.
Because he's so talented.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
By the way, have you heard from Trevor Gayron? How's he doing?
I saw him. He was home. Doing great. I mean, he's built for that place.
Oof.
Yeah.
National Football Foundation Player of the Year, and what an unbelievably nice kid.
He'll be a SEAL someday. He wants to be a SEAL.
I love that.
I don't doubt that for a second. I don't think he'll ring the bell.
No. Brady Nash up right now. Interesting how he follows Gary Merrill from St. Anthony's in the lineup here.
Yeah.
A little extra motivation.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're friends. These guys all go to the same trainers, quarterback trainers.
Yeah, right.
Elijah Outlaw stepping up here in the touch portion of the quarterback challenge.
Who we got now?
Touch. This is Elijah Outlaw of West Babylon High School.
Oh, okay.
Two-sport star at the high school for West Babylon. Great baseball player, scholarship athlete. But he's a game changer on the football field. He's a guy you would like. Fiery, leadership qualities.
Yeah.
Intensity. He lifted that team last year in a couple games against North Bab. You know, the better teams in the division, he kept them in the games. They were just maybe, like you said, 111th. He was probably like 5 out of the, he was that important.
It just, brings a lot.
You know, it doesn't matter, though. As good a quarterback as you are, if your line is no good, it doesn't matter. You need a line.
It's all for naught. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And we started doing the gridiron.
You can win this thing and have a horrible year because nobody protects you.
That's right. You're being chased all the time.
Chased all the time. Can't do all these things.
You know, people ask about East Islip's team last year and how they won the Lawrence Championship. And they beat a very, very good team in the finals when they played against Outside. And people were like, well, how good is East Islip? Is their offense that good? Well, their offense is very good. Is it the best offense? No, but nobody can stop the big kid, Sebastian Regis.
Right.
He's in the other team's backfield wreaking havoc. You know, or he's on defense making plays that nobody makes.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
Yeah,
Our
you
last
can't deal
guy.
with it. You can't deal with him. Yeah.
Now you got to come up with a game plan to double team a guy like that. AJ Virtue of Sachem East closing out the touch portion of the quarterback challenge. We are midway through the quarterback challenge. We still have arm strength, mobility, and release quickness in the events.
What do we got left? Arm strength?
Arm strength is next.
Okay.
And you'll be here with me on that one. I want to hear what you think about these kids that throw footballs 55 and 60 yards. We had that last year. We had a couple guys threw the ball 60 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. John Gill will take us now to the long ball explanation for arm strength.
All right, in this cover 2 hole shot determining arm strength here, we're starting from the college hash, which is 2 yards inside the high school hash. The quarterback will take a 3-step drop and throw the ball low trajectory, as close to a line drive as possible to prevent the imaginary safety from making a play. We'll do it on both sides, again from the college hash, 2 yards inside the high school hash, 3-step drop and hitch, and the ball will be thrown with as low a trajectory as possible, imagining the safety on the hash mark, not being able to make the play because of the ball's flight.
Coach, here's where you see Coach Gill will give them instructions now, exactly what he wants to see, so it's clear on the throws, and then we'll watch them throw long ball.
If you're not in, receivers are out. Receivers are out. Go on the sideline. Quarterbacks behind me. Okay, you got, listen, start on the 40, okay? All right, so you start back by the 30. You can run up to the 40-yard line and throw it, okay? 10 yards to run. You can 5 yards, you can do 1 yard. You don't have to, you can do run as you want. All right, let's go. I think 2, yeah. Let's go. Right, here we go. Good.
Coach, this is the long ball toss and where they check arm strength, see how far they can throw the football, and to the center of the field for accuracy. So right now it's just about how far they can throw it. And this is Costarelli of East Islip. I noticed Coach Gill brought them back, has them. They can run up to the 40-yard line and let it go. We did have a few guys last year that could reach the end zone 60 yards in the air. Nice throw by Nick DeVito of Smithtown West. And if you notice, some of them get too deep and get too much height. They lose a little bit of distance. Our next quarterback is Joe Diesso of Massapequa. So if you're counting from the 40 to the 10 is 50 yards. Anything beyond that is a plus. That's a nice throw. That was about the 3-yard line. It's a nice throw, 57 yards. Ethan Dizon of Syosset will step in, number 4. $55 yards. $54 yards. I know, Coach, you're probably thinking, I don't want to be in this situation because those are Hail Marys. Joe Filotti, 58 yards. That may reach the end zone. It does. 61 yards, Joe Filotti. Now Dennis Finkel, Farmingdale. 55. Finkel with throw number 2. 54. Shane Kiernan of Miller Place. Looks like everybody's in the same range, 54 to 56 yards. Shane Kiernan lets it rip. 54. Dan Licari of Kellenberg. .52.
Oops.
Now it slipped. Antonio Marone of Smithtown East. Just about 50-yard throw. And Marone with his second throw. A little bit better. 51. And now we have Joe McHale of Lynbrook. This reminds you of the old punt, pass, and kick, right, Coach? Punt, pass, and kick.
Punt. They still do that?
They do, for boys and girls. There's number 10, 58 yards. Joe McHale, nice throw. Now Gary Merrill of St. Anthony steps in. Friars quarterback lets it rip. 55. Good throw, 58 yards. Brady Nash of Islip. He'll have his 2 throws. .53. Good throw.
He launched that one.
Yeah, he did. That was 58 yards. Elijah Outlaw of West Babylon. Nice and smooth, huh? He didn't even put his whole body into it. 54. Now he's going to run up. 54. Consistent. Maurice Scott of Riverhead. .52.
Where's Riverhead now? What conference are they on?
1.
They're in 1.
Yeah. Good throw, 56. AJ Virtio, Sachem East. 50. And he'll get one more throw. And that was a good throw. 58. That'll do it for the long ball toss. Now the quarterbacks will go get their footballs. Receivers will join them. And I believe they'll start arm strength, cover 2 hole shots. Footwork, release, and velocity is important in this event. And this is where you see the guys that have the arm strength coach to throw to the sidelines.
Yeah, what are they throwing now?
They're going to throw cover 2 hole shots. And
okay.
I guess there's going to be no video review, so we're going to go right into it. So they're going to throw one pass deep down one sideline and then one deep pass down the other sideline. And Coach Gill's going to want velocity on those throws, so if you don't hang it up there and the ball gets picked off.
Okay. Good drill.
Yep. This is perhaps the toughest throw for a high school quarterback.
Yeah.
The deep cover two.
Absolutely.
Whole shot, yeah. How many times you see a guy wide open on a wheel and your quarterback lobs it out there and you see the safety come flying across?
Yeah.
Like, oh no. And how many times you see the safety come flying across, he misjudges it, the guy catches it and runs for a touchdown.
On the outside. So
Good
one
chance
guy,
of
you
that
guys
happening.
alternate. 2 reps, 2 guys here, 2 guys here. They're going to go around you. Cover 2. That's all. So we'll throw from the 10. We'll throw from the 30-yard line, 30 to the 50, 50 to the 30. So, all right? Cover 2. You understand, guys, what I'm saying? All right? You guys start on the 15 right now. Yo! Excuse me. Excuse me. Cover 2 whole shots. So we're going to go from the college hash. Get 2 throws on the right. So 2 receivers up again. You got to go around the corner. The corner is going to be in this position. Get outside wider, son. Okay? Turn your hips towards me. The corner, you got to get around the corner. Put your arms out, please. Get around the corner. Okay? We're looking for the ball to be thrown 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw, and throwing on a line. Listen, God, I'm just telling you again, you don't throw 3 and hitch. You want to throw a floater, that's great. It's not going to count. We'd rather you miss. Rather you miss. Okay? I'm just telling you because you're not getting points anyway. Get miss. All right, so let's get everybody. If you're not in, everybody in the end. First group up.
So you think he was clear? I want you to throw a missile. I do not want you to see a fade or something with lofted out there.
Throw it.
Throw it.
Throw it
and
the way it's
throw it
supposed
velocity.
to be thrown.
How hard is it to teach a high school kid to trust that, to throw it?
Well, I think if they come to believe it's the right thing to do, then it works.
So do they need to get picked off in practice?
Yeah, then you figure it out quick.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to march the field. They go out one side, out the other side, and they do it a couple times. It's not just 2 throws per quarterback. So we'll find out right now. Here's Thomas Costarelli of East Islip. They have the receivers running their patterns outside the corner. So he's going to want to hit him somewhere around the 30, 30, 35.
Right now.
Yep, right there. Yeah, now he runs them down the field. Actually, Gil gets a great workout in this drill because he does that 15 times. Runs the length of the field with the groups.
Yeah.
That's a throw. Good arm strength.
Yeah, that is.
They'll do another one. I believe they do 3 to both sides of the field. Maybe I'm wrong. It might be 2. It looks like Costarelli is done. They're bringing out Nick DeVito of Smithtown West.
You get 4 throws. That's good.
4 throws.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't think you need to see more than that, right? Nick DeVito steps in from Smithtown West. So I guess the key to some of these hole shots, when you have a cover 2, you want to look the safety off the other side and then make your throw immediately, right? You want to freeze them.
Yeah, if a kid's...
Because if you telegraph it...
If he's capable,
Yeah.
Yeah, you get an older quarterback, he do those things. You know,
Yeah.
when
Experience.
You get the young guy, he's kind of give him stuff he can complete. You know.
Yeah, these are tough throws
I mean,
for high school quarterbacks.
The mistake is having a big passing playbook, and the guy can only handle half the throws. Throw the throws away that he can't handle. If that's not good enough, then well, it's not good enough. You're not going to win. You know, asking a guy to do something he's not capable of it happens.
Joe Diesso of Massapequa. I guess he looks at hang time of the passes, and I'm thinking if it has too much hang time, it's too much of an opportunity to be intercepted.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, a guy can get a break on the ball. Yeah, because if you're playing too deep, that guy's not very far away. Not talking about a guy coming out of the middle.
Sometimes if you have a propensity to throw to the same side of the field and not open your hips and throw to the other side of the field, the guy could cheat.
Yeah, well, and the way to take care of that safety is to run somebody through him. And then you can do whatever you want to do over here.
And keep him out of the play.
Just run him off.
He has to.
Yeah. Run him off and throw it in the hole.
I would think that when you see cover two, a lot of offensive coordinators are seeing, all right, if they're taking away the guys coming on the outside, run down the sideline, or they're running a post corner, that you could run a tight end down the middle of the field on a delay. And if the linebacker's not fast enough to stay with him,
right,
and the guy in the middle is not there, it's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, the other cover two thing that we used to play a bunch of cover two. We really haven't lately. But anytime anybody would get an outside release like this, we turn and run with them. We don't play cover two anymore. We're chasing you deep right now.
And so you have to have athletes to do that.
Well, you're a corner. You know,
so then responsibility on those patterns, if you run the corner off, is your outside linebacker is responsible for the guy in the flat.
He's got the flat up, you know. If he's got to take a drop, so if he's got back out, or he knows how we play, which is the corner may not be there. Because if he gets circled,
he might run with him.
We're going to go with him. Yeah, that's how we used to do it. Because we don't want to put too much pressure on the safeties. Because if somebody's running that safety off, there you go.
You have no
and
help.
The corner's sitting in a flat waiting for the back out that didn't come.
Well, you see that on the film. You know what teams do.
Yeah.
Do they keep the back end in the block? Do they delay him in the out
Right.
swing? That was a good throw. Number 5, Joe Filardi. Good velo on the pass, on target, hit him
So
early.
I guess he wants to try to play football, huh?
Yeah, look at this throw.
Yeah.
Like you said, skill set. He can handle that.
Problem he'll have is spring football. If he thinks he wants to play lacrosse there. I mean, you could be a wideout or something, but there's no way you be a quarterback.
I think
Finkel
what they'll
here.
do is when they see how good he is on the football field, they'll tell him, hey, your cross is done.
Yeah.
Your future's right here.
Yeah. All right, Fink.
Good throw by your guy.
Couple of good throws.
Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale steps in after Joe Filardi. Makes some nice throws. He's finishing up the cover 2 hole shots. Good velo on the pass.
two receivers are really good.
Oh, you can tell. They can run.
He was an all-county guy. This guy was honorable mention, but he was the runner-up for the receiver award.
Gatchalian was the all-county guy. Collins.
J.J. Collins.
And Gatchalian was the runner-up to the
was-
receiver.
Yeah, he was honorable mention all-county, but he was the runner-up for the receiver award. He could fly around.
Shane Kiernan of Miller Place. Another guy that has a real good arm. And that's the velocity he wants and the trajectory. Nice throw. Daniel Lacari of Kellenberg is next. So it's early enough in the season where everybody's getting ready for the actual preseason practices. Where'd you guys get seated this year in Nassau Conference 1 at Farmingdale?
Well, what we do in the summer is we go 6 weeks, 4 days a week, for 2 hours a day. That's been our standard, and then they get a week off, and then the 19th comes and we begin. We've always done it that way. They get lifts, they get conditioning, they get football. It's all pieced together. They get everything.
Get a good turnout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get close to 50 guys. You know.
Wow.
They're all there.
Where are you seated this year, preseason?
What's that?
What's your seed?
1. With a 1
You
seed.
all one.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got quite a few people back. More than we typically have back.
That always bodes well in such a tough conference. Having that varsity experience is a big deal.
Big deal, particularly early in the year. You know, as the year goes on, that's going to even itself out a little bit.
Antonio Marone, Smithtown East. Oh, this is an opportunity for these receivers to showcase themselves too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that about the two Farmingdale receivers.
Yeah.
They look great out here, but now I have a little more background information.
Yeah, no, that's...
You had a running back last year that was unbelievable. He was
He's going to
25 carry.
Go to
guy.
Springfield.
Oh, is that where he
Yeah.
went?
Good place for him because they run the ball. They're still in that option game, and they're bringing those wings around and giving them the football. And the kid can catch the ball too. So it's not like he's a liability when you got him on the field and you want to throw the thing. He can go catch it, and he go tackle people too.
Is that the Wilson kid?
Huh?
What about the Wilson kid? Where'd he go?
He's like Wilson,
Yeah.
similar kind of player.
Similar?
Not nearly as big
Right.
as Kevin was, but similar player, very similar. Can do everything.
I have to watch this Lindbergh kid. Joe McHale, he's got a nice arm.
Oops.
Toughest thing for a wide receiver is to adjust his route, turn, and catch a ball that's thrown underthrown.
Yeah. You got to make plays on the ball. It's high school football. Ball's going to be all over the place. People chasing the quarterback. The whole package.
Gary Merrill of St. Anthony steps in. He had almost as many rushing yards as he did passing yards last year, Merrill.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Almost 1,200 rushing yards and
Yeah.
1,500 through the air. He was a dynamic quarterback. And you can see he has real good arm strength.
Okay, we'll go right to the video, and then we'll go right
Brady Nash of Islip steps in. Another guy who came on strong last year as a junior. And they expect big things from him this year with the Buccaneers. Nice throw. When you look at the conference and you see you guys have won, Massapequa, I'm sure, is up in the top 3. Freeport back in the top 4 as far as seeds.
I think they're 7.
Wow, still rebuilding.
There's 7.
Hempstead made a little bit of a comeback last year.
Yes, they did.
Right?
Yeah. They lost a lot of people. They may be below that 7 line.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at the same old. Massapequa, Syosset,
Oceanside.
you guys farming down Oceanside, right?
Yeah. And East Meadow has a lot of people back. As it all turns out, Vinny's last year, they were very young. You know, but what they're gonna do there is they're gonna convert to the spread. Because the guy who got the job he's a spread guy. He's not in Vinny's,
old school
Navy option and all that. So that'll be a change for the kids. But you know what? Athletes can change. If they really are athletes, then they're gonna be okay.
They adapt.
Yeah.
Elijah Outlaw, West Babylon, steps in his second hole shot. Down to our final 2 competitors here in the arm strength portion of the Long Island Quarterback Challenge at Smithtown West High School, sponsored by Orland and Cohen. The title sponsor for the National Football Foundation and the Long Island Quarterback Challenge. This is the boys portion of the event. It'll be followed by the girls Quarterback Challenge. You want to see some girls throw a football, hang around, because they got some great arms in high school football, flag football with the girls. Maurice Scott of Riverhead finishing up his 4 throws. And we bounce into A.J. Virtue of Sachem East. He'll be the final competitor in our 4th event. And our judges, Rob Blount of Oceanside, Rob Haas, the longtime Sayville head coach and current assistant at Sayville, and Matt Smith, former quarterback at Nassau Community College in Lebanon Valley. They'll be the judges for today's event, and helping head coach John Gill, who is the coordinator of this event, in judging who our winner will be. 2 events left, mobility, release quickness, as we finish up the arm strength portion of the Quarterback Challenge. A.J. Virtue, real nice throw. Long Island fans treated to a little bit of football here in late July as teams prepare for the 2024 high school football season. That'll do it on arm strength. we're going to check out the mobility video.
The quarterback will take a 3-step drop and a hitch. After his first hitch, he will break the pocket to his non-throwing side. For righties, will be left. For lefties, will be right. Sprinting full speed, all right, laterally, all right, and throwing the ball on the run while running laterally to the sideline. We want to emphasize again that the quarterbacks are running full speed and they're staying flat, which makes the throw a lot more challenging and extremely difficult. They're just running full speed and staying flat as they throw the ball on the move.
One guy, break right, full speed. Okay, I'm sorry, left. Break left, turn and throw it, full speed. Receivers, you start on the goal line. When he breaks, go in that direction. The next receiver step up, he'll go the other way. There's 4 throws. You have to run full speed. You have to run full speed. You have to run full speed and throw the ball without coming downhill. You got to stay flat. Whatever you break on, you got to stay flat and throw it. Okay? Though it's a time to be Caleb Williams. But see, everybody wants to be Caleb Williams until it's time to run full speed, or until it's time to stay flat and not run downhill. You got to run a straight line and throw the ball full speed. Okay? All right, so if you're not in on the 30, receivers up on the goal line, 2 receivers up.
So this is the mobility event here in the quarterback challenge. Coach, what quarterbacks are going to do is they're going to run full speed flat to the line of scrimmage, turn their hips and throw. They're not allowed to go uphill, downfield. They're not allowed. They got to turn and throw. So this is about sprinting, staying flat on the line of scrimmage and throwing an accurate pass. Not an easy play for a high school quarterback because a lot of high school quarterbacks want to be going towards the receiver to make the throw. So this is a little bit more difficult, and he's looking at them to run full speed down the line and then make that throw.
Going to be interesting. It's all about hip turn. I mean,
all about the hip turn.
They all have arm strength. I mean, it's everybody here can throw a football. Get those hips turned.
And now Coach Gill's explaining it to him. I wish we could pick him up when he's first talking to the first couple of quarterbacks. I think that would be interesting.
Ball call. Okay? This way. Come this way. No, you said same thing, and I thought you meant, you didn't say same way. You said same thing. Hitch up, run this way. Run, ball. Don't run down. Again, son, stop running downhill. Stay straight. Stay straight. You know what I'm saying? Stay straight. Go this way now. Move up. Heels at 5. Get running. Run. Ball. Better. Now, that was better. Now, don't slow up before you throw it. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Okay? Don't slow up.
I like hearing that. I like hearing him talk to the quarterbacks in some of these drills because this is a difficult drill that he's trying to teach them what to do.
Get running. Ball. Don't throw up. Good. That was the best one. Let's go.
That was Thomas Costarelli of East Islip listening to Coach Gill. And now Nick DeVito of Smithtown West steps in.
Here we go. Ball. Good. Ball. Good.
That's a tough throw. That's a tough throw going to your non-throwing arm and turning your body, get that hip turn and making that throw.
Ball.
Coach, your thoughts?
Nice.
Good.
How hard is it for a right-handed quarterback to throw running to his left?
Get right. Ball.
I think sometimes
Good.
they throw the ball better.
Good.
When they've got to turn their hips.
Do you understand the drill?
Because they make a very conscious effort to get those hips turned and square the field and deliver the ball. When they go to the throw hand, they get a little lazy sometimes. They don't snap those hips
Where you
through.
they throw across their body when they do that.
A little bit, yeah. And when they're gonna open those hips and throw, sometimes you get a better ball out of them.
Joe Diesso of Massapequa. Hey, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on. We have a couple other guests coming in.
Thank you, Greg. Yep.
It's great to see you.
See you during the year.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Enjoy the rest of the event. Joining us in the booth will be Massapequa head coach Kevin Shippos. Good timing. Your guys out on the field in the mobility event.
Well, that's one thing that Joey's got. Very good mobility. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we were looking for you. We couldn't find you out there. Krumenacker stood in for you for an extra event. So he was loving the whole quarterback hip turn. He was dancing with me up here, showing me the hip turns.
Yeah, I was out there hiding, trying to find some shade.
Some shade. Your thoughts on the event? You've watched the whole event. What do you think?
It's awesome. This is my second year here, so it's nice to see these kids out here working hard, showing their tools. Experts in their crafts, and they're you don't really get a chance to see them with their helmets off during the season. So it's nice to see their hard work paying off.
Ethan Dizon from Syosset, another guy in your division. When do you play Syosset this year? Do you know?
We play them week 8. So
oh,
we'll
okay.
see them until the end.
So give you an idea, they have another good quarterback coming through the system after Mustafa Mozawala.
Well, that's big shoes to replace, but Coach Rourke does a great job with them, so I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
So where'd you guys end up in the preseason seeding? I know Farmingdale's 1. Are you guys 2 or 3?
We are 3, Oceanside. 2.
It's 2. Nice throw. Perfect day for the quarterbacks.
Absolutely, yes. Can't ask for better than this. Listen, weather is not too hot. A good breeze down there to help on the long throw. So, it's kids are working hard.
How's your summer practices, workout programs been going?
Good. About 4 weeks in, running and lifting and doing some 7-on-7s. Get a lot of good work in. Graduated 30 seniors, so we got a lot of guys competing for spots, which is good. Just get out there and getting ready to go.
It must be exciting having a guy like Diesso back so that you can have confidence in your quarterback.
Absolutely. He took us all the way to the end last year, and experience is something you can't really replace. So he'll be the guy back there along with Tyler Villalta and then Frank Romano and some other guys. But it's going to run through Joey, which is good. He's a good person to have back there.
Another good Joey and Joe Filardi, another phenomenal talent. Watching him do different things on the field is just fun to watch. I want to listen to Coach Gill right now on what he's telling Filardi.
Get right. Come on, speed. Ball.
We were talking to Coach Champy earlier about Gill's influence on all the young quarterbacks and how they have to take something away from this.
Absolutely. It's not just a quarterback challenge, but they're listening to one of the best in the business.
That's an opportunity to learn from somebody who's been there, coach some of the best quarterbacks around.
Right. I'm sure these guys, any chance they can get to learn from somebody like him, they're taking everything they can from him.
Do you want a video clip of Dennis Finkel here from Farmingdale?
No. Ball. He's a good player.
Don't
good
cross
receivers,
the line, please.
two of the best.
Please don't cross the line.
On all of Long Island. Buddy does a great job with them.
Yep, he just told him don't cross the line.
Get right.
Now.
You're crossing the line.
This is what he was saying.
I didn't say ball. You got to stay
don't
flat.
Go downhill.
Don't come downhill. I know it's hard.
Right. Don't get me out there. I crossed the line too.
Yeah, but you want to run downhill and run somebody over.
That's why I'm not a quarterback.
Break the pocket. Go. If I'm rushing, you're not going to come into me. You're not going to know I'm rushing.
Keep your distance. Keep the separation. Stay away from the guy who's coming at you full speed. If you go downhill, you close the gap.
Right. Ball. That was better.
Good throw.
And now that's something that he'll take with him today and work on that in practice with the Dalers. Stay flat. Keep that separation from the defenders.
Right. Farmingdale is known as a smash-mouth team with running the ball, but they do like to throw it, especially with these two big targets out there that they have.
Yeah, Coach Kromenaka was telling me that Gachalian and Collins are two of the very best, and they were very good last year too.
Yeah, Collins is a big receiver, about 6'5". They like to throw it up, and he goes up and gets it. Gachalian is more of like a shifty receiver, speedy guy, but two very good threats.
Shane Kiernan of Miller Place jumps in now. Let's see what Coach Gill is saying to him.
Good. Good.
There you go. He liked it. You know what I love about him is enthusiasm. You know, like he comes out here, this event, this is his baby.
Let's go.
He
Let's go.
loves
Come on,
to see the top 15 quarterbacks on Long Island, you know, and check them out.
Absolutely. You know.
Ball.
And they're going to take everything he says.
Nice.
To heart too.
Nice. Let's go. One more.
Yeah, I was saying earlier when he was doing the arm strength and he was doing the whole shots, he was running up and down with the field with all 15 competitors.
He's got a lot of energy, that's for sure.
Ball.
You got to have it coming out here, commanding this group.
That was good. Hey, just keep your eyes downfield.
That was Shane Kiernan of Miller Place. Now Dan Licari of Kellenberg.
Come on. Ball.
Yeah, he tried to cross the line
I
a
love
couple
the speed.
times.
You got to stay flat. You got to wait for me to say ball.
Yeah, you knew that was coming. He's not letting anybody get away with anything.
That's Division I coaching right there. All the details matter.
Ball.
That was much better.
Good, good, good.
You know, I hope these guys understand how lucky they are to work with a guy like Coach Gill.
Absolutely.
And
These guys,
Antonio Marone of Smithtown East steps in.
yeah, these guys coming here are the
You gotta
best
wait
of the
for me to
best.
say ball.
So they're going to take everything that he says to heart and
gotta wait for me
go
to say
back and
ball.
work on this fundamentals.
And he just wants you to be better. You know, it has nothing to do with being critical. It's constructive criticism so that you become better.
Absolutely.
Right? It's
He's
no
got-
different than a James Brady, who's one of the top quarterback trainers in the tri-state area.
Yeah,
he does the same thing.
You got to remember, these kids are high school kids. Some of them might go on to play college football, some might not, but they should always be looking to improve their game. And this is another opportunity.
Joe McHale of Lynbrook is next. He follows Antonio Marone as Marone finishes up.
Good.
He turned his hips nice on that. You know, it's also timing. You got your receiver sprinting across the end, not the end line. There she at the end zone, right? And you want to hit him before he gets out of bounds.
Absolutely. It's all timing. It's a very hard throw.
What's that? Don't drag your foot. Don't drag your foot. Just run through the ball. Ball.
Good throw.
Yes. Great throw coming across your body.
And he listened because he just was told, don't drag your foot. Interested to see how Gary Merrill does on this drill from St. Anthony's. He has a strong arm. You don't scrimmage them anymore, St. Anthony's?
We have not. The schedules haven't lined up in a couple of years. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to scrimmage them, but it's great when we went there a few years.
Nice. Nice speed.
Good work. You see who's a real football player, right?
Absolutely. It's all about getting better.
Here's a 5. Ball. Good. Good. Huh?
Great throw.
Kevin, when you look at all the different athletes that are here, What's
That's my
changed
position in the line as a guy.
to you in the quarterback position? Is it the size of the quarterbacks? Because they all look physical.
I think when you look out there, you have taller quarterbacks, shorter quarterbacks. I think the thing that's changed is the evolution of the game is the running quarterback, especially with the evolution of spread offense. Quarterbacks have become way more athletic, and they've been offenses put more offense on the quarterback to run the ball, make reads, and throw the ball. So definitely the mobility of the quarterback has shaped up.
But Coach Krumeneka told me that it still is a sport that demands that you run the football and that you win at the line of scrimmage. Even though there's so many spread teams and the kids are more athletic, for lack of a better term, that the quarterback used to be 1/11th of the offense. Now they're more than that. You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, the game is won on the offensive defensive line. That's always going to be where the game's won or lost. But running the ball is something that you got to establish if that's your offense. But even if you're spread as well, you're spreading them out to run the ball, trying to create the box numbers and try to make that advantageous to yourself. So yeah, I agree with them. You're still running the ball, but like I said, the quarterback has become more of a runner these days than just turning and handing to a tailback or a fullback and getting out of the way. They become another option.
Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's on his last two throws. He'll go away from us, top of the screen, make that throw. And then he'll come back this way towards us and throw that very difficult throw for a righty coming to his left. Always was the throw when our coaches called the pass play going to the left side of the field, and I knew I had to turn going that way to get enough arm strength on it. I'd be like,
Right.
I hate this throw.
Coming across your body is nothing harder than that. It's very very difficult. If you can master that, you're going places.
Brady Nash of Islip steps in. He's short on that one. I'm sure Coach Gill is having a conversation about that.
Hey, Weiss, you want to help out? Kaden West, you want to help out? Thanks.
Love it.
Come on, run. Stay flat. Ball, stay flat. Not bad.
Tough throw. And you see Brady Nash, who has a strong arm, going to his left. He doesn't get that full extension on his arm. He kind of short arms that throw as he turns his hips.
Really good to maintain good mechanics.
Keep running.
Throwing the ball, especially on the run across your body.
Good.
Yeah, you don't want to push that throw out of there. You want to get that ball up.
Yeah, very difficult.
Get running. Ball. See, good. Up, next up. Outlaw.
Elijah Outlaw of West Babylon.
That's good. Sprint.
I heard a lot about this young man, obviously through Newsday and through the games last year.
Get on.
Really, really excited to see him play today. And he's
Don't
lived
come
up
downhill,
to his ability.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I love the sprint. Stay flat.
It's funny because I never really looked at why they stay flat. It was never explained, but after seeing him explain it once, it makes sense. You stay flat so you keep that separation from the defense.
Don't come downhill, please.
Because when you come downhill, you close the gap for the defender.
And usually once the quarterback breaks contain, there's a linebacker coming up to meet you for an extra contained player. So
if you go downhill,
you're going to get hit.
Space.
You're going to get hit.
Stay flat or run away.
Yes, run out of bounds.
Good throw.
Listen.
He's struggling with
It's
staying
beautiful.
flat.
You want to stay parallel to the line, all right?
I think a lot of these kids are so used to getting downhill and squaring their shoulders. This might be a little bit different for them.
Or taking off and just running.
Right. Yep.
Get running. I didn't say ball. Hey, Jay. Oh, Scott. Thank you, my man. Right here.
Maurice Scott of Riverhead steps in.
Get running. Ball, you gotta run, son. You gotta run. We gotta sprint. We gotta sprint.
He's good, right?
Yeah. Every
Left side.
detail matters.
Ball. That was better.
That one got away
That
from
was
him a
better.
little bit.
Get out, come on.
Maurice Scott
Get running, get
trying
running.
to bring Riverhead back to the
Ball.
playoffs in Division I in Suffolk.
Good.
And he's going to have his hands full, but big guy, throws the ball well. An opportunity and an invite to come here and
Get up,
showcase his skills. And that's good. Bring that back
Ball.
to Riverhead and motivate some of the guys on the team.
Definitely
Hey,
an
Jake.
athlete.
Throw.
Speed.
Yeah, he's here with Kevin Moore and Finn Drake, his receivers.
And wait for the ball
Gives those
call.
guys an opportunity to have some fun. You couldn't have a better day for this here in Smithtown.
Absolutely. I was going to say, the receivers out here, you can tell they're here with the quarterbacks for a reason. They're very well schooled
Nice.
in their route running and their hands, obviously. Catching the ball with their hands, not letting the ball get to their bodies. Impressive.
Coach Gill happy right there with A.J. Verchio as Sachem East. Nice throw on the roll right. Now the tough throw.
Ball.
Coming left.
Good eyes. Just stay flat,
Actually,
though.
very
Stay flat.
very
Go left.
athletic.
Stay flat.
Went uphill a little bit. See how he does it the second time.
Get run, get run, get run. Ball. Nice. Yeah, oh yeah.
He's got a
He's
strong
like
arm.
Kyler Murray.
And now we come left again and see if he
Last
doesn't
one,
go
stay flat
downhill.
here, right? Stay flat.
Does he learn from it? He told him, stay flat. Run parallel. Come on. Here we go.
Good throw.
Good. Oh, nice catch. Oh.
Almost a great
Let's
catch.
go. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
One final skill, the
Bring it in,
release
bring it in, bring it in.
quickness. It's called the hot potato drill. And it's the quickness of performing the drill and accuracy. They'll all get 5 throws. And here's Coach Gill.
I'll be snapping the 5-foot balls. I want one of your receivers to catch the ball on the bottom of the numbers. Everyone else is like a fence. Because listen to me, the balls are coming out fast, receivers. It's catch, throw it. The next ball's the ball's coming out fast. Don't chase the ball. There should be guys 8 yards behind. Okay? Caden West, where are you? You're like a very nice, polite man. Have you ever yelled at anyone in your life? Is that possible? Besides your parents? I need you to make sure these guys are not screwing around. They got to stand behind the receivers at about 10, 12 feet, and there's a fence. That way it's a bad throw. We protect the people behind us, and we get the balls back. Okay? All right, so they stand on the 40-yard line. Okay? So I need one receiver up on the bottom of numbers, everyone else 10 feet.
Quarterback here will get a snap and snap turn and immediately throw the ball out to the receiver on the numbers, okay? And as the ball is being thrown, the next snap is coming. As soon as the ball is released, the next snap is coming, so the quarterback has minimal time to reset and gather himself. It's catch, grip, rip, catch, grip, rip, catch, grip, rip, as quick as possible.
Hey, welcome back to the box here at Smithtown West, joined by Half Hollow Hills West coach Gerald Filardi, and welcome to the box. Are you
Thanks for
enjoying?
having me.
You loving this?
Yes, this is great. I mean, football, anything activities for football is I get excited about.
Perfect day. No quarterback can say they weren't here. Perfect conditions. Slight breeze, beautiful
Yes.
weather. You know, I mean, everybody's having a good time.
It was a great turnout, great weather.
We're in the final stage of the Long Island Quarterback Challenge. Obviously, your son is part of this challenge. You must be beaming with pride. Joseph looks great. Opportunities coming up for him at Syracuse. Signed a lacrosse scholarship, and now football.
Yes.
A football scholarship, so now he's going to play 2 sports.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool. The expectations this year, I mean, can he do more than he did last year? I mean, he broke every record in the world last year, and, you know, the team came up a little bit short, but on a personal level, he was as good as it gets. And how do you exceed that this year and take the team to the next level?
I think we put last year in the past, and that's what we do, and we look forward to this year, you know, and that's winning a Long Island championship. So coming up that short and then regrouping and going back and say, you know, I always tell the kids this is the team this year, and then at the end of the season, look around. You're not going to see this kid next to you or that kid next to you. This is every year is different, and you got to rebuild from there. So we started that after that game, and now we're off and going.
How exciting is it to have an all Long Island quarterback and an all Long Island receiver coming back the following year? It's got to make you feel like, wow, this could be special.
Yes, I mean, it's as a coach, you have kids that have been working hard for the last few years, and now they're coming upon their senior year, and they're all back together. It just, you keep building from what you had. So as a coach, coaching staff, we're really excited to have these kids back and to see what they can do and what they can accomplish this coming year.
And in this drill, Nick DeVito, we just saw him from Smithtown West. Thomas Costarelli looked real good in the drill, and this is pretty much the release quickness drill. They catch the ball and they get rid of it right away. Do you have a lot of plays in your playbook where a quarterback gets it and gets rid of it right away?
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to. You have to have them in the playbook because it's just getting guys in space. For us, we have those type of athletes. So rather than coming out of the backfield or getting them in space 2-3 yard passes where they can make some moves and gain some yards for us. It's a little bit of supplement of the running game in some cases.
Obviously, getting a guy like the athletes that you've had the pleasure of coaching the last few years, getting them in space is a big deal because once they're out there, they're tough to deal with. Tough
Absolutely.
to tackle in the open field.
Yes, yeah, very good explosive athletes, and we use them for their talent.
Now we watch Joe step in, and you look at the numbers. 57 total touchdowns is just, it's insane, crazy. Is this something that he works on a lot with his receivers?
Yes.
His release is super fast.
Just in general, just to get the ball out. Everything at the quarterback position is timing. You know, it's timing in the routes. It's the longer you hold the ball back there, the more trouble you're going to get into. So.
Dennis Finkel of Farmingdale steps in. He emerged as a good quarterback last year. A big guy for Farmingdale this year, a key to their top seed in Conference 1 and where they can go. But he wasn't just a good quarterback. He was a good game manager last year, too.
Yeah, I was just talking to Coach, and he said he's grown tremendously in all aspects, physically and mentally. So he's excited about having him back and going back at it with him.
I know Miller Place dropped into Division 4, so you didn't get the opportunity to see Shane Kiernan of Miller Place.
Yes.
But this kid's special talent.
Yep. Yeah, we got to go against some 7-on-7s with him. I saw him last year. He's grown tremendously as well from a year ago.
How much time has Joseph put in the gym this offseason getting ready for this year?
A lot. He's in there 5 to 6 times a week. We do our team workouts, and then he does some individual specialized stuff for quarterback. And he's a two-sport athlete, so he's coming up on his last travel lacrosse tournament this weekend, or this week, I should say.
So there was a lot of lacrosse during the summer, huh? Travel.
Yeah. He's pretty good. He manages it very well.
Is it tough to say which sport he likes better, enjoys better?
Yeah, we've tried to get that out of him a few times. I think he likes where his feet are. And when he's with his lacrosse guys and he's playing lacrosse, he loves it. And when he's with his football and he's playing football, he loves it as well. I think it's a little different dynamic because he plays defense in lacrosse. He's a close stick, and that's on his travel team. His high school, he's a little bit more versatile because that's what they need. And then the specialization of the quarterback position is tough, and it's different from any other sport. But I think he's a competitor, so that's what he likes to do.
Does that separate him from a lot of the other people in sports, that he has that inner competitiveness?
I think so. I think having it at a younger age has probably been the separator, because as you grow, everybody is going to equal out at some point as you go level to level. So
Gary Merrill of St. Anthony's finishes up, and now Brady Nash of Islip steps in.
Yeah, Gary Merrill, another great athlete.
Yeah, Coach Gill feeding the football. Just as you turn, that ball's in your face.
Yeah, it's going.
But you have to do that too, because what happens if you get an unexpected snap and shotgun? It comes a little early.
Yep.
If you don't have the quick reflex.
Very common in high school football.
Yeah. Elijah Outlaw steps in from West Babylon.
Good baseball player, too.
Yeah, fantastic center fielder.
Yeah.
Swing it. Good hitter. Now Maurice Scott of Riverhead. I love the way Gil holds all 5 footballs. Feeds him 5 in a row. And our last guy is A.J. Vercchio of Sachem East. He'll throw to Joe Christie. As Gil gets set up. Nice drill. Put all 5 moving his feet, the receiver.
Yep.
How important is it to have athletic receivers that adjust to the ball?
Yeah. It's definitely beneficial for the quarterbacks.
Looks like they're concluding. John Gill is going to talk to them at the end here and have a conversation. But that'll do it for the Long Island Quarterback Challenge for the boys here at Smithtown West High School. We'll get together with the coaches and the judges and see who the winners are. And we'll be back right after this break.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome, everyone. Again, my name is Len Genova. I'm the president of the James C. Metzger Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. Again, we have some special guests with us. They took time out of their busy schedule today to judge the contest, and we really appreciate it. It was a special day. All the way to my far right is former head coach of Sayville, Rob Haas, and currently an assistant there right now. The current head coach at Oceanside High School, Rob Blount, and Matt Smith, former college quarterback at Nassau Community and at Lebanon Valley. So, gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I know this is your first event, the first time you've worked with us. This is our third year, but I'll go through each of you individually. Just give me your feedback. Were you impressed with the day and the quarterbacks that you saw? Coach Haas?
Yeah, I thought it was really well organized, and more importantly, it just gives our kids, a chance to get more exposure and anything else, just being coached by, Coach Gill and learning some different, movements and techniques. I thought it was really well done.
Okay, so I don't step on anyone's toes again. Coach Blount, I know you've been doing this for a long time, as has Coach Haas, but just talk a little bit. I know you had the opportunity to play for Coach Gill at Post, and you were a heck of a quarterback in those years. Just talk a little bit about some of the drills we did and how impressed you were with some of the young men. I'll hand you the mic so I don't step on anybody.
No, it was great being here today first. Thanks for having us, and just watching some of the drills, being able to apply a lot of the skills and tactics, throughout the day, things that'll help the players as they go throughout the rest of the season. And it was good to see them all moving around. They all do things differently well, advice for those guys is keep on doing what they're doing, and it's going to be a pleasure to follow these guys throughout the year.
And finally, Matt, I know you're the closest person to having played, one of the younger judges here, obviously, and I know we chatted a little bit earlier. Just how impressed were you with the entire day, the opportunity this is for the young men? I think it's a great chance for them to compete against each other, have some fun, also get a chance to meet all the other quarterbacks on Long Island. So just talk a little bit about that experience from your perspective.
I think this is a great event to showcase skills and unique drills, and I think it's great to get out there to see what other competitions out there on Long Island. And I think it's great for the kids to just go out there and have fun. I think if you take a camp like this too seriously, that's when you're struggling. I think if you have some fun with it, just go out there, sling the ball around. I think that's the most beneficial way of going about it.
One last question, fellas. I know, especially in the case of Coach Haas and Coach Blount, you've coached some tremendous quarterbacks that have gone on to college and professional careers in some instances. From a viewer's message and from a young parent, what would you think is the most important quality or trait a young quarterback can have?
I think you got to love to compete, and I think you got to like the grind. I mean, playing the quarterback position is a very skill-specific. You just can't come out once a week or go to a trainer once a week. I think if you go to a trainer and you continue out and apply what you've learned and go to different trainers and get different ideas, I think it's the position is you have to be able to love the grind and you got to love to compete.
Coach Blount, I know so many great players over the years. You've been there a while now. It's hard to believe it's gone so fast. But from your perspective, what do you think is the most important trait that a quarterback can have?
I think one of the biggest things they can have is accountability. You know, the aspect of accountability to themselves and their work ethic and the skill that they do. As Coach Haas mentioned before, it's not something you can do once a week. You know, you see the top level guys; they're out there 3-4 times a week, whether it's ball work, footwork, working them, mental stuff with their coaches. So, for them, just keep on working. And if you want to be great at it, you got to put a lot of work into it.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you all individually. We really appreciate your hard work. I know it's never easy, but this is trying to have some fun and promote Long Island high school football. So we appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. Now back up to Greg.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
We're live. Ray, come on over here. We're live. On that side of me. My good friend is having a great conversation with Coach Blount from Oceanside. But again, Lengen over here. This is a special one for me because he's a personal friend, but also a part of Orland & Cohen. And first and foremost, he's Ray Nelson, the Director of Corporate Development. But just can't thank you enough, Ray, and the whole team for making this event a reality for the young people on Long Island. It's great to promote high school football. It's great to give them and their parents an opportunity to have such a wonderful day and make and forge relationships and hopefully learn something in the interim. And just thank you so much for the support.
Well, it's my pleasure, Len. My staff is having a great time today mixing with the coaches and the kids. There's a great atmosphere, as always, with the Quarterback Challenge. It's a great event, so well run, and we're just happy to be here.
Well, it's funny, Ray. I had to take advantage. Some of his trainers, last year I cramped up pretty bad, so I was on the table over there with some of the trainers. They did a great job. They're here for our athletes all day, so I feel a little bit better. I have to get through the girls' event, so I'm feeling pretty good now. But, Ray, you've been involved with us now. Hard to believe, but almost 30 years, 27 years. So from your perspective, just what's the value of the Football Foundation and the opportunity it presents, not just for young people to compete today, but all the other programs we do in terms of highlighting scholar athletes and all the good things about high school sports and athletes today?
Well, I think it's been well stated what the value is for high school sports for high school kids: participation, teamwork, learning, dedication, commitment. So anything we can do at Orland Cohen, sports medicine is really the care and prevention of athletic injuries. So anything we can do to help kids stay healthy while they're participating, while they're trying to stay on a playing field, we're all about it. And we like to give back. And so that's what our relationship is with the Football Foundation now, is giving back and helping to support special events like this. Anything we can do to give kids more opportunities, healthful opportunities to participate, we enjoy being involved.
Well, listen, from all of us at the foundation, we can't thank you personally and Orland & Cohen enough. We interviewed some of the doctors earlier. They're fantastic. The level of care and compassion they have for the athletes is really astounding and something to note. So thank you so much for your friendship and for your support today, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you, Len. Much appreciated.
As one of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
I'd say my personal goal is just to be the best player I can for my team, and then my team goal is just to win the Long Island Championship for my final season.
Now, on a personal note, who's your favorite football player? Could be college, pro, and why?
For the past couple of years, I'd say Saquon Barkley's been my favorite football player.
Anything special about Saquon in his career, what he's had to overcome that stands out?
I'd just say, my dad played at Penn State, so I always watched him. That just, made me like him the most.
Gotcha. Now, I know you've had a lot of memorable moments with the career you've had, which is unprecedented last year, throwing for 3,000 yards and running for 1,000. But in your career, what would you, if you had to pick one moment, what would be your most memorable moment playing football?
There's definitely a bunch of great moments, but I'd say last year's playoff game versus Smithtown West was probably one of the most fun games I've been in. Just the highest scoring game, and it was really fun to be a part of.
Now, what games are you most looking forward to this year?
I like to take one game at a time, so West Hampton first week is the one I'm got my eyes on right now.
That's great. Now, who is the most influential person in your life and why?
I don't know if I have like one influential person, but I probably say my parents. I look up to them a lot, and they just helped guide me to be the person I am today.
Great. Now, hobbies. I know football and lacrosse take up a lot of your time, obviously. You're such a talented player, but outside of those two, what would be some of the things you like to do and enjoy?
Obviously, I like spending time with my friends, but I'm a big video game guy. We play a lot of games together, like college football is now out, so yeah, I'm big on video games.
And almost our last question, any specific like pre-game rituals or things you do, how you get dressed, what you eat, anything in particular?
I feel like I'm very close with my relationship with God, so I like to pray and go to church before every game.
Great. Last one, and that is, I complimented your dad when we speak. Having a younger son who played quarterback, I really admire the fact that you were a two-way player, played defense, and I think even played on special teams. So how enjoyable is that for you, just virtually never to come off the field?
Yeah, I give my team everything I have, so whatever I have to do for the team to help us win, I'm going to do it. So I want to be on the field to give everything I got.
All right. Joseph, thank you so much. Have a great competition and a great season this year.
Thank you.
So team goals for this upcoming season is to obviously win the LIC and the Nassau County Championship. With returning a lot of guys and being ranked preseason #1, you have pretty high expectations, and we're working to live up to them. Personal, I hope to win the Schneider Award, and I'll be the best quarterback in Nassau County.
Okay, also, are you aware that the winner of the quarterback challenge last year was Mustafa Mozawala, who ended up winning the Schneider, so hopefully good things to come for you as well.
Yes.
Who is your favorite football player and why?
My favorite football player is actually Tyrod Taylor. With all the injuries he's had and battles he's gone through, I look up to him because every time he goes out on the field, he puts on a show and always puts in his best work.
Your most memorable moment playing football?
Most memorable moment was throwing that first varsity touchdown pass. I was walking out there shaking, nervous for the game. But then once I threw that ball, I was just so happy, and yeah.
What game this year are you most looking forward to and why?
Probably the Massapequa game last year. Lost to them by 1 point in overtime. And obviously they had a great season, won the LIC, and this season we're looking to get back and hopefully win.
Who is the most influential person in your life and why?
Probably my dad, I would have to say. I look up to the way he attacks each day and his outlook on life, and all the advice he gives me always helps me.
What are some of your hobbies, Dennis, outside of playing football?
Outside of football, I enjoy golfing and hanging out with my friends. I think it helps calm my mind, and with football being so high intensity, going out and golfing with my friends really relaxes me.
Last question, any specific pregame rituals that you go through?
I always meditate before my games. My quarterback coach Brady and my dad are big on meditation and transferred it to me, and I love breathing exercise and meditating. It really helps me calm my mind.
One of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are both your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
Personally, I just want to do a lot better than I did last year, and for the team goal, I just want to win a championship.
Okay. Favorite football player? Could be a college player, professional player.
My favorite player in college probably was Johnny Manziel, and in the pros, Trevor Lawrence.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of, I know you're an outstanding lacrosse and football player, but your most memorable, if you had to pick one, and I know it's difficult, but your most memorable moment playing football?
My most memorable moment playing football is probably winning the game for St. George Regional. It's just a big win for the team.
And in terms of this upcoming season, 2024, what game in particular are you looking forward to and why?
I really look forward to playing Cardinal Hayes again because we lost them in the playoffs last year and kind of want to get them back.
Gotcha. Most influential person in your life and why?
Probably has to be my dad, just because he motivates me every day to keep getting better.
Great. And now, outside of lacrosse and football, what does Gary Merrill enjoy doing for fun?
Probably just going to the beach, fishing, and having fun with my friends.
Okay. Now, I know athletes tend to have very specific pregame rituals, sometimes how they get dressed, what food they eat. Is there anything you do in particular before every game?
I usually just sitting by myself in the locker room and listening to my music and getting locked in for the game.
Gotcha. Last question. I was so impressed last year. You had a run, I think we talked earlier, against Cardinal Hayes where your helmet came off and you kept running. But just you seem to play more like a defender than you do a quarterback. So tell us a little bit about that.
I was running down the field. I got hit. My helmet came off. It's probably because my helmet was a little loose, but it came off and I just squared, Casa.
All right, Gary, good luck this weekend and for the upcoming season.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Again, it's Len Genova from the Football Foundation. We just wanted to bring over our quarterback director for the Long Island Quarterback Challenge, Jonathan Gill. Coach Gill is the former, he played collegiately at Akron University, and then for 20 years he was both the quarterback coach and the pass game coordinator at first LIU Post and then LIU University. He was the interim head coach there for the 2021 season and is currently the athletic director at West Hempstead High School. So, Coach, thank you so much for doing this. I know you did a series of Zoom meetings with the players, and we had an open tryout this year again for the second year. So just talk a little bit about your experience as a quarterback and how that translates. I know we've had the conversation off air, but how that translates to being a 24/7, 365-year type of mindset.
Sure. So, I really believe, and I hope these young men, as they go through their careers, understand that the qualities and characteristics it takes to be successful at quarterback are directly correlated to be successful in life. As a quarterback, number one, there's pressure on you on a daily basis, whether they understand this right now or not. In their schools and the communities, people are looking at them and watching their behavior and watching everything they do. And so it's that first step, and when they become future fathers and understand being a role model and being responsible to other people, I try to tell people all the time, you've entered the first phase of manhood when you realize every decision you make affects other people. Once you've taken that path and you understand that choice, you've entered the first phase of manhood. And so, quarterbacking is a decision-making position on and off the field. And, the amount of qualities it takes to be successful there are going to correlate directly with life.
Coach, I know you've coached some terrific athletes during the course of your tenure at LIU, some All-Americans, some Players of the Year. But if you had to identify, especially for the viewing audience, young parents who have aspiring players, both boys and girls, because we're super excited about our girls' event and what's going on with flag football, but what would be the one quality that you think is most important in terms of having or developing as a potential quarterback?
That's a wonderful question. I believe that this is a quality that everybody has. I just believe some people might have it naturally, and as you just said, I was fortunate enough to work with some special guys, and some guys have this quality from day one, and some guys you have to kind of bring this quality out of them. But it's really the ultimate act of discipline. It's really discipline to me means I'm going to make a choice to do something, and I'm going to always make every decision based around that choice. So if you make a decision to be a great quarterback, then every decision you make in your personal life, on and off the field, is related to being a good quarterback. What you eat, the time you go to bed, the choices you make when you're at practice, and in high school you might have a special teams period, and the coach might say go on the sideline, and if you take a knee and be on and just watch special teams, you're not really working on becoming a better quarterback. So it's really about making the choice to be great, and then having the discipline to follow that choice.
I know. Especially, I know we're not there yet with the girls' event, but we're excited at the National Football Foundation. We're hosting our inaugural Scholar Athlete Brunch for the girls next Sunday. We're the first chapter, I'm proud to say, in the country of all 120 chapters that's doing that. And I know you work with the female athletes as well, and let's just talk a little bit about that. It's been so fun for me to see the growth of that sport, and it's going to be an Olympic sport. It's likely to be happening on college campuses. So just talk a little bit about your experience working with the young ladies, and I know you personally, having a young daughter, it's been a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I look forward more to the girls than the boys, and that's not a shot at the boys. It's just very exciting because the girls don't take this for granted. I'm not saying the boys do, but the reality, and being very candid and truthful, there's more of a hunger and a thirst for knowledge, and more of a thirst of just want to learn and get better. And again, not saying the boys don't have it. I'm just telling you there is a difference. These girls are definitely into it. They're definitely excited. They're in the Zoom calls. They're just a wonderful group of girls to work with. I'm looking forward to working with them a little bit.
Lastly, Coach, I know you had the good fortune to work with Brian Collins, the former head coach at LIU for many, many years. Unfortunately, Brian passed away last summer. His family started a scholarship in his name. We were fortunate enough to be the venue where they presented a $10,000 scholarship this year to a deserving young athlete that was from West Babylon High School. But there was a message last year in terms of what Coach Collins emphasized and who he supported. And we're all about Long Island football and promoting the game here. So just lastly, before we end, just touch upon, his legacy and what was important to him in terms of Long Island high school football.
Yeah, Coach Collins, again, for those of you that know him, you realize what a special guy he was. And if you don't know him, I'm sure you heard of him. And as I said last year, and as you just touched on, Len, and his family is the same way, they are huge advocates for Long Island football athletes. They realize that Long Island football players may not get the respect from different places in the country. And Coach Collins always looked out for Long Island football players. I mean, he wanted to make Long Island University a Long Island team. And just to be very candid with all you guys, I don't know if that's necessarily happening anymore. I don't know necessarily LIU's roster currently. I know at that time, Stony Brook and my first starter there, Hofstra, they were not that way. He took it. He wanted to give Long Island kids opportunities. He believed in their ability. He believed in his development of the men that he hired. And I was fortunate to be one of them that could develop these athletes and make them reach their potential. And he realized that there are a lot of diamonds in the rough in Long Island. And at the end of the day, he was an extremely successful coach with an extremely high winning percentage, and won a lot of championships. I think over 11 or 12 in his 20-plus year career with a lot of Long Island players.
All right, Coach, thank you so much again. We appreciate all you do. I know you put a lot of effort into this, and we try to have fun, but we do take it seriously, and we do want to create an environment to provide these young men and the ladies an opportunity to learn, compete, and forge new relationships for the coming season. So thank you so much, and we anxiously await our winners. Okay, thank you so much, Coach.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
As one of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
I'd say my personal goal is just to be the best team, and then my team goal is just to win the Long Island Championship for my time of season.
Now, on a personal note, who's your favorite football player? Could be college, pro, and why?
For the past couple of years, I'd say Saquon Barkley's been my favorite football player.
Anything special about Saquon in his career, what he's had to overcome that stands out?
I'd just say, my dad played at Penn State, so I always watched him. That just, made me like him the most.
Gotcha. Now, I know you've had a lot of memorable moments with the career you've had, which is unprecedented last year, throwing for 3,000 yards and running for 1,000. But in your career, what would you, if you had to pick one moment, what would be your most memorable moment playing football?
There's definitely a bunch of great moments, but I'd say last year's playoff game versus Smithtown West was probably one of the most fun games I've been in. Just the highest scoring game, and it was really fun to be a part of.
Now, what games are you most looking forward to this year?
I like to take one game at a time, so West Hampton first week is the one I'm got my eyes on right now.
That's great. Now, who is the most influential person in your life and why?
I don't know if I have like one influence person, but I probably say my parents. I look up to them a lot, and they just help guide me to be the person I am today.
Great. Now, hobbies. I know football and lacrosse take up a lot of your time, obviously. You're such a talented player, but outside of those two, what would be some of the things you like to do and enjoy?
Obviously, I like spending time with my friends, but I'm a big video game guy. We play a lot of games together, like college football is now out, so yeah, I'm big on video games.
And almost our last question, any specific like pre-game rituals or things you do, how you get dressed, what you eat, anything in particular?
I feel like I'm very close with my relationship with God, so I like to pray and go to church before every game.
Great. Last one, and that is, I complimented your dad when we speak. Having a younger son who played quarterback, I really admire the fact that you were a two-way player, played defense, and I think even played on special teams. So how enjoyable is that for you, just virtually never to come off the field?
Yeah, I give my team everything I have, so whatever I have to do for the team to help us win, I'm going to do it. So I want to be on the field to give everything I got.
All right. Joseph, thank you so much. Have a great competition and a great season this year.
Thank you.
So the team goals for this upcoming season is to obviously win the LIC and the Nassau County Championship. With returning a lot of guys and being ranked preseason #1, we have pretty high expectations, and we're working to live up to them. Personal, I hope to win the Schneider Award, and I'll be the best quarterback in Nassau County.
Okay, also, are you aware that the winner of the quarterback challenge last year was Mustafa Mozawala, who ended up winning the Schneider, so hopefully good things to come for you as well.
Yes.
Who is your favorite football player and why?
My favorite football player is actually Tyron Taylor. With all the injuries he's had and battles he's gone through, I look up to him because every time he goes out on the field, he puts on a show and always puts in his best work.
Great. Your most memorable moment playing football?
My most memorable moment was throwing that first varsity touchdown pass. I was walking out there shaking, nervous for the game, but then once I threw that ball, I was just so happy, and yeah.
What game this year are you most looking forward to and why?
Probably the Massapequa game last year. Lost to them by 1 point in overtime. And obviously they had a great season, won the LIC, and this season we're looking to get back and hopefully win.
Who is the most influential person in your life and why?
Probably my dad, I would have to say. I look up to the way he attacks each day and his outlook on life, and all the advice he gives me always helps me.
What are some of your hobbies, Dennis, outside of playing football?
Outside of football, I enjoy golfing and hanging out with my friends. I think it helps calm my mind, and with football being so high intensity, going out and golfing with my friends really relaxes me.
Last question, any specific pregame rituals that you go through?
I always meditate before my games. My quarterback coach Brady and my dad are big on meditation and transferred it to me, and I love breathing exercise and meditating. It really helps me calm my mind.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
All right, Gary, as one of the top returning quarterbacks on Long Island, what are both your personal and team goals for the 2024 season?
Personally, I just want to do a lot better than I did last year, and for the team goal, I just want to win a championship.
Okay. Favorite football player? Could be a college player, professional player.
My favorite player in college probably was Johnny Manziel, and in the pros, Trevor Lawrence.
Gotcha.
Now, in terms of, I know you're an outstanding lacrosse and football player, but your most memorable, if you had to pick one, and I know it's difficult, but your most memorable moment playing football?
My most memorable moment playing winning the game for St. George Regional. It's just a big win for the team.
And in terms of this upcoming season, 2024, what game in particular are you looking forward to and why?
I really look forward to playing Cardinal Hayes again because we lost them in the playoffs last year and kind of want to get them back.
Gotcha. Most influential person in your life and why?
Probably has to be my dad, just because he motivates me every day to keep getting better.
Great. And now, outside of lacrosse and football, what does Gary Merrill enjoy doing for fun?
Probably just going to the beach, fishing, and having fun with my friends.
Okay. Now, I know athletes tend to have very specific pregame rituals, sometimes how they get dressed, what food they eat. Is there anything you do in particular before every game?
Usually just sitting by myself in the locker room and listening to my music and getting locked in for the game.
Gotcha. Last question. I was so impressed last year. You had a run, I think we talked earlier, against Cardinal Hayes where your helmet came off and you kept running. But just, you seem to play more like a defender than you do a quarterback. So tell us a little bit about that.
I was running down the field. I got hit. My helmet came off. Could probably because my helmet was a little loose, but it came off and I just scored a touchdown.
All right, Gary, good luck this weekend and for the upcoming season.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smithtown West High School. My name is Len Genova. I am the president of the James C. Metzger Suffolk County chapter of the National Football Foundation. Welcome to everyone. We're so pleased that you could all be here with us for our third annual Long Island Quarterback Challenge. It's a special day for me, our entire board, and our organization because we are all about promoting amateur football here on Long Island. And what better way to do that than to recognize some of the great athletes you saw perform this morning. So let's have a nice round of applause for all of our quarterbacks and our wide receivers. Great job, guys. And each of them had to bring a wide receiver. It can be a thankless job, but we try to give them some nice apparel. They all showed up, most on time. But just a nice round of applause. We are going to recognize, when I call Greg Sarah up from Newsday, one receiver for his hustle and commitment. But I just want to thank them all for being here. We couldn't do the event without you. Nice round of applause for our wide receivers today. Thank you, guys. Again, I would be remiss, just a few thank yous, because events like this don't come off with just one person. It's a coordinated effort to make this come to fruition and have such a great event. First off, I'd like to thank our judges today. They did a wonderful job. Coach Rob Haas from Sayville, Coach Rob Blount from Oceanside, and former collegiate quarterback from Nassau and Lebanon Valley, Matt Smith. Thank you, fellas. I've been running this chapter now since 1995. We have a tremendous partnership with the Suffolk County Coaches Association in every way. They are supportive of what we do, and quite frankly, we couldn't do any of the programs we do without their support. And we're fortunate to have their president here with us this morning, coach from West Islip, Steve Fasciani. Steve, thank you so much. Also fortunate to work with T&D Sports Video Productions. They do a tremendous job and work tirelessly to make this event a success. So to Tom Bruno and his entire crew, thanks for everything today, fellas. Also, some of the boys were drinking this. I feel like Nick Saban, but this is tilted. It's going to fall off. But Prime Hydration was nice enough today to provide drinks for the boys and will be for the girls. So we appreciate that. I know their representative had to leave shortly a few minutes ago, but we do want to say thank you. And also, if you can go out, please support their product as they supported us here this morning. Big, big thank you to Smithtown West High School. They do a tremendous job here. Their head coach, Craig Perino, really welcomed us with open arms. He's on our board and does a terrific job. So I just want to say thank you to Craig and also to the athletic director here, Jason Lambert, who was so welcoming. Thank you, gentlemen. To all of the NFF volunteers today, we had a great group. I don't want to mention every single one because I didn't write them down. I will miss someone. But we had former players who were recognized as scholar athletes, former players who participated in the quarterback challenge, my stepson, my family. So I just want to say thank you collectively to everyone here that volunteered. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Big thank you to sort of my partner in crime. She's our director of operations. She works so hard, and the media presence we have is really solely due to her. But I would encourage all of you, I said this to the athletes and to the parents that are on social media, I always mess up how to say this, but do your shout-outs. Whatever you forward, whatever you do with social media, please continue to do that. We referenced that this morning with the athletes, but you doing that for us, we're one of the few chapters in the country, and it really does help us stand out. But she's been instrumental in that and in so many things, and really done a great job with this event. Our Director of Operations, Alex Rosenberg. Thank you, Alex. I have to mention my stepson Peter's here. Thank you so much. He flew in from South Carolina for the event. I'm a bit nutty with this stuff. And I do have to recognize my wife, Gemma, who does a fantastic job. We got married June 22nd, sandwiched about me moving and 4 different National Football Foundation events. So we're going to give out little mini helmets at the wedding, but I chose not to. It might have not gone over so well. So, sweetheart, thank you so much. I appreciate you tolerating all of this. She's here every day. She's at the concession stand, every event. Thank you for your love and support. Now, lastly, before I bring up Mr. High School Sports here on Long Island, and I'll talk about him in a second, I want to thank not just Ray Nelson, who's on our board, but the company he works for, Orland & Cohen. I have to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We interviewed some of the doctors this morning, Dr. Pacey and Dr. Rothfeld, caring gentlemen who work with athletes all day, not because they have to, but because they want to. And they do a great job because they are athletes themselves, and they truly believe in what you can accomplish and achieve through athletics and that participation. And I can say this about Orland & Cohen. They've been supporting us for I don't know how many years now. But this event, the apparel, the ability to live stream the event, the ability to highlight and profile these great athletes that you saw today does not happen without their generosity and support. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Ray Nelson. I want to thank the doctors that were here, and I want to thank Orland & Cohen and the training staff that was here. Guys, again, I don't want to mention and miss a name, but they had to stretch me out early. I was cramping up if any of you saw me over on the table. Guys, thank you so much. Ray, thank you, Orland & Cohen. Now, on that note, the moment everyone's been waiting for, but before I do that, I want to bring up Greg Sarah. Everyone knows Greg. He has been involved with high school sports for 40 years. There isn't a person who is more passionate and more caring about promoting every sport on the boys' side and on the girls' side than Greg Sarah. We named our Long Island Offense and Defensive Player of the Year award after him, and it's been given out the last 2 years. And there isn't a person that's more deserving, and he's sitting up in that box. He just asked for Len, just please get me a fan and make sure it works this year. But he's up there, and he's out here today volunteering because he cares about high school football, he cares about high school sports, but most importantly, he cares about the athletes themselves, and he demonstrates that by how he acts as a journalist throughout the entire year. So on that note, to announce our winners for the 2024 Long Island Quarterback Challenge, our good friend and Mr. High School Sports on Long Island, Greg Sarah.
Thank you for the nice introduction. I appreciate it. I'm getting up in years, and I still enjoy this like it was my first day. Today is a great opportunity for Newsday to come out and see all the great receivers in the top 15 quarterbacks heading into the season. It helps us with top 100, all Long Island, what games we cover in the first 4 weeks of the season. I saw a lot of great talent today, a lot of kids that I wasn't aware of, so I love it. I think it's great. I thought there was some great receivers, made some dive-in catches and really sold out for their quarterbacks, and I appreciate that. The quarterbacks were great. You had a beautiful day. Smithtown West was a fantastic host. National Football Foundation does a wonderful job, a lot of volunteers, and it's a pleasure to be a part of this event. So without further ado, we're going to give out the awards. The outstanding wide receiver is Gavin Gachalian of Farmingdale. Gavin. Nice job, bro.
Thank you.
You guys got good receivers.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Congratulations to Gavin. There are 4 other winners. There's a football IQ winner, an anticipation winner, an accuracy winner, and then an overall winner. And the overall winner, we have 4 finalists. We'll have them all come up together. But first, we'll go with the football IQ winner. That was Antonio Marone of Smithtown East High School. You got it. Good job. Congratulations, Antonio. Our next winner is the anticipation winner. Did a great job on the field, almost had a perfect score. Shane Kiernan of Miller Place High School. Congratulations, Shane. Our next winner is the accuracy winner. That is AJ Virtio of Sachem East. Nice job. Good job, bro. Congratulations, AJ. And now if our 4 overall finalists could come up and stand to my left, they are AJ Virtio, Sachem East. Joe McHale of Lynbrook. Shane Kiernan of Miller Place. And Joseph Filardi of Half Hollow Hills West. Congratulations to all 4 guys. Wonderful job. A lot of fun today. Beautiful day. And your winner is Joseph Filardi of Half Hollow Hills West. Congratulations. Stay up here for a photo, you 4. Guys, get that? Okay. And Joe, you stand over here. Right here. Good job. The first of many.
Thank you.
Hey, great event. I'm going to send it back to Lenny, and Carissa Kelman is going to come up and do the interviews for the live stream and for Newsday Sports. Carissa, come on up.
I'll start with you.
That's not on, right? The Newsday one.
It is on. Yes. First of all, congratulations. Just kind of how exciting is this day coming out before the season, being here?
It's definitely good to come out here and just get good work with a bunch of great players. Just leading up to the season, it's just great to come out here and compete.
Does this competitive atmosphere make you want to, train harder in terms of coming into the season?
Yeah, definitely. It gets you prepared for the season. I mean, it's not technically real football, but it gets you a little prepared, so it's definitely good.
You passed for over 3,000 yards last season. What is the secret to throwing the football so far? Is there something that you do in terms of tips, how you hold it, or something specific?
I wouldn't say there's something specific. I just feel like growing up with my 2 older brothers, my dad, I just always around the game. So I just wanted to be the best I could, and just having great receivers and great coaches really helps out.
How exciting is it to go into the season now knowing that you have this honor?
It definitely feels good, but my main goal is still there, so I definitely want to achieve that.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So much.
I appreciate it.
All right, nice job, Carissa, Joe Filardi. Lenny will come back up and put a close to today's event. What a great job that the National Foundation did. You guys were amazing.
Thank you, Greg. All right, everyone, just again, before we say goodbye and wish everyone a happy and healthy 2024 season, again, a nice round of applause for all of our quarterbacks and our wide receivers. Thank you, guys. Great job. And just want to wish all the parents and the players, having sons that played football, it's important, obviously, first and foremost, to stay healthy. So I wish you all a happy, healthy, and successful 2024 season. If the 4 winners that were honored, if you could please stick around so we can do some photos over by the Orland & Cohen tent, I'd appreciate it. On that note, thank you, best of luck, and see everyone in the fall.